Are you ready to grow your cannabis business? Advertise with Medical Cannabis Marketplace today. We have title sponsorships, 30-second ads, and full production packages. We make branded content, product demos and reviews, and much, much more. Whether you're a grower, processor, or dispensary owner, or are vertically integrated, we can help you. Advertise your cannabis event. Whether you're a glass blower, smoke shop, need product images and video, or are an ancillary service provider, tax professional, transportation specialist, grow suppliers, bud trimmer, security services, whether you sell flower, concentrates, edibles, packaging, CBD products, and much, much more, we can help you advertise your business on Medical Cannabis Marketplace. Contact us today.
Welcome. Woo! That was some heat right there, boy. I like that, guys. Man, welcome to MCM. I'm Perry Jones III. I am here with Dr. Jason Sims. Guys, we are so happy to see you. That group right there, Community Sound. Community Sound Jam. Listen, I was about to say it.
Okay, I was making sure.
I love that. Doc is in here tonight, baby. Let's go, Doc. Community Sound Jam, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I can't wait for them to play again. And this band, whoo, you guys are bringing that heat. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you guys for filling in. I'm excited to see you guys more. We can't wait to hear more coming up from you guys. Man, listen.
Further that.
You want me to do that right now?
Might as well.
Come on, all right, fine. This is what's good about live shows.
Do it a couple times.
We can do it a couple times. We do what we want to do right here.
Exactly.
This is what it is. Okay, so Community Sound Jam every Thursday at the Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole is, where's Rabbit Hole at? Elgin, downtown, right? Okay, it's downtown Blue Dome District. That's what it is. Cool. That's it. It's on Elgin, downtown Tulsa, on Thursdays. What time, guys?
9:30.
It's a night?
Yeah.
Okay, it's about 3 or 4 hours, 9 to midnight, 9 to 1. Every Thursday, the Rabbit Hole. Listen, I know you just got a little preview. I'm excited about seeing more. This is going to be amazing. Thank you, guys. Heck yeah. Dr. Sims, man. What's up? How are you?
I'm here.
How have you been?
Yeah, not too bad.
How's medical?
It's medical.
It's medical. That's a good check-in right there. We like that. Hey, guys, we have a special show for you tonight. Every night is special because we get to do this, number one. But number two, it's special because we had this is our 13th show now. And we've got to do some new. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a little clap on that. I mean, yeah,
Lucky
definitely
13.
a clap on that. Lucky 13, that's good. Thank you to the guys behind this thing. You guys would see them very soon. But we have a show for you. We were able to interview some very, very high, popular, noted, people. One of them is Eric Norton with Imperious Cannabis, Cannabis Expo. And Imperious Cannabis Expo is one of the biggest expos for medicinal, well, really just cannabis in general in the nation. You've got MJ BizCon, and then you've got his. And we were able to get him on, and we had 2 of his top keynote speakers for his event that's going to be happening in, it's the beginning of June. I think it's June 3rd and 4th. Or it's June 4th and 5th. We're going to put that on here, but it's the beginning of June, and it's all through this.
In Oklahoma City.
In Oklahoma City at the Oklahoma City Convention Center. Mm-hmm. And so then they have an after party as well. Mm-hmm. They're going to go into it, but what I mean to say is that this interview is the start. This was so awesome. We were able to get Slim, Mr. Aaron, a.k.a. Slim, with Carter Creek Cannabis out of Broken Bow, and then drum roll, please. Mr. Ed Rosenthal. And let me tell you, folks, if you, that was a pleasure, right, Doc? I mean,
for sure,
Ed Rosenthal,
right?
Get out of here. For those that don't
Exactly.
know, Ed Rosenthal is an author, he's a botanist, he's a activist, he is just a cannabis, like a big figure
aficionado,
within. Yeah, I mean, you can
growing
add all
aficionado,
those.
and He's
quality
been doing
stuff.
this for longer than most of us been alive. So.
Definitely since long I've been alive.
Yep.
Even though I just had a birthday, we're not going to talk about that, but it's still good. And it was a great interview. And so what we did is we actually got to do that virtually, and it's the first time that we've done that. So we pre-did it, and now you guys are getting ready to check that out. But I wanted to just get you guys hyped up, get you prepped. It is still in the traditional manner of our show. You'll see a first link. It'll be about 10 minutes. Come back in. Then we'll get ready to go into the band again, get another jam session, and then after that we'll finish up with another 15-20 minutes of that interview. And so then we'll top off with some what do you like to call them, the things that are happening in the week.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, headlines.
Whatever.
We'll catch up. That's what we're going to do. All right, so what we're going to do right now, guys, check this video out. I'm so excited. We'll see you guys in just a minute. Gentlemen, what's up? Welcome to MCM. Thank you, guys.
Hello.
What's going on?
It's nice to see you all. What's beautiful is that I've actually physically met every one of you guys, and I'm just happy to be able to have you guys on right now. Eric, we go back from the inception of the cannabis industry for myself, and then you with your expos, and then Slim, we've actually done a couple events here when you came to Tulsa, and then seen a lot of the product and things happening in your growth from Broken Bow to where you're at nationally. And Ed, I met you at Eric's event back in Little Rock, Arkansas, when we went to Steve's processing facility at that time, that expo. And we shared a little conversation and some dinner as we're in that VIP back there. And so it's nice to have you guys on. And so thank you guys for being here today.
My pleasure.
That's right. Oh, and I got a special guest here. I know you guys are special too. This is my partner, the man, the myth, the legend. This is Dr. Jason Sims. He's the owner of the very first cannabis business to open in Oklahoma as a doctor's office, really 8 hours after the vote, and has expanded THC2 brand to help hundreds of thousands of patients between Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi now. And so had to bring him on because going on with the grow and everything that you guys are doing, it's just more knowledge on the call. So I just wanted to give Dr. Jason Sims his kudos and thank him for being here with us as well, guys.
Hi, Dr. Sims.
Man, guys, this is cool because this is our first doing this. Like this is our how many shows now? I think 4, 8, 12. This is our 13th show. And
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13 right now. And it's the first show that we've done with the Zooms. Thank you so much for joining us. We're at another special MCM. This is I think it's our 13th lucky 13th show, and man, do we have a lineup for you guys. This is the start of the second quarter. This is start of April. This is start of spring. And let me tell you, what better way to go into spring than going into events? And by events, I mean the expos that you can learn about all of the different brands, all of the different ownership, all of the different things in the cannabis market in the Oklahoma area. And the man, the myth, the legend, I am so happy to be on this line with we've got Eric Norton with Imperious Expos. Guys, let me tell you, this is the very first expo that I even attended my personal self, and he's been doing this for years. And he's got some special lineup at the expo that we've got online here today. Not only do we have Dr. Jason Sims with us, and you guys are familiar with Dr. Jason Sims and THC2, but we also have Slim with Carter Creek out of Broken Bow, which is a huge brand in Oklahoma. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. And then we've got the world I'm telling you, world-renowned Mr. Ed Rosenthal. And I mean, this is a special lineup. Eric, you do amazing things. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you for bringing the guests. Man, let's go right into it. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Man, I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful. I get to see you again. You're down there in Texas. This is our first show that we've done using technology via Zoom, via all of this.
Yes.
Team. It looks great. Lighting is looking good all the way around there. Man, I'm so happy to see you, man.
Thanks. You know, it's weird promoting and producing cannabis shows from Texas. I just got to tell y'all, it's weird. You know, because it's like, I don't even, when I go to a legal state and I come home, sometimes I just don't even know how to act, you know. It's crazy. And one of these days we'll have one of these things here in Texas when we can celebrate when Texas finally comes on someday. And I know that's going to mean a lot to everybody here. So the show is in Oklahoma City again. This will be our second time there. We were in Oklahoma City back in November of 21.
Okay.
So this next show is going to be June 2nd and 3rd at the Oklahoma Convention Center. Our two keynote speakers, Mr. Ed Rosenthal, of course, is here with us today. Another Aaron Smith, the CEO of the NCIA, will be speaking as well.
Nice.
And then we have a special featured speaker that's here with us today, Mr. Aaron Slim Clay. He's going to share, and I'm anxious. I don't get to go to all the speeches. You know, I'm usually on the floor with the exhibitors because that's where I fit in. But I'm going to go hear both of these guys, of course. And Aaron, Slim's going to talk about he's going to share his story. And I'm not going to get into this too much, let him tell you, but his story of recovery from opioids by using cannabis. That's going to be his topic. So he's going to bring a real personal touch to the show. And so I'm looking forward to that. And then there's a lot of things. I don't even know what else to say. We've got a lot of really fabulous exhibitors, some from out of state, a lot of hometown people too. I don't like to bring in just a whole bunch of out of state people, like an outside invading force. We want to have people that live there benefit from this.
Now that you've grown this, how many vendors do you expect to be at the expo this year?
Good question. We're sitting at about 90 right now.
That's a big number. That's huge.
With 2 months to go, I can easily fit 200 in the hall that I have reserved. I'll tell you, I think the most we've ever had back in Arizona one year, I think we had like 130. About the biggest show I've ever had. Getting to 200 is just another level, and so that's a little bit of a lofty number, but I'm shooting for, I think we can at least double our numbers in 2 months. I think we can have 180.
Ooh, that's a good number right there. That's a good amount of people coming and getting education, coming and getting resources, coming and getting tools to further themselves, especially in the Oklahoma market, because having people with stories like Slim's, that's really what I call it, the land rush was about in Oklahoma. There was that land of opportunity, easy, right? And now you get all the expertise out here by way of expos like yours and access to gentlemen like these two to find and take hold of their own health, whether that's cultivating, whether that's understanding methods and processing, or just being around it. And so that's awesome to hear. 90 people up to 180. I'm excited about that for us. I think that's going to be really good for you as well. How long have you been doing the expos?
Our first show was June of 2016 in Seattle. That's where I met Ed. He was my first keynote speaker.
Ah,
2016. Yep.
wow.
Time flies.
And now look at you guys, still rocking and still making waves all the way through the US. You know what I mean? I think that's really cool. What are some of the different things within the expo people can look forward to? Obviously, we have keynote speakers. What are some of the other draws or things that you really are excited about for patients or for people to experience there?
The new technologies that are coming out, the exhibitors that are going to have equipment that they can demonstrate. Ed's going to do a demonstration of the caliper growing system that's affiliated with Smart Pots. Things like that. And then I know Slim's got some items he wants to launch at the show. He's been dropping hints. I know he's got something under his, he's nodding. Yeah. So he's down to tell us. And then in the seeds, we talked about doing a seed swap. That's Ed's idea. We literally just where they swap. But that don't hold me to that. But what we're going to do, and I'm going to let Ed tell y'all, is he's going to release something from his own personal collection. Genetics.
Ooh, the purse bank. Whoa.
Yeah. And out of all the shows that I've ever been to, do y'all remember Indo Expo? Remember Indo? They're not around anymore. Sadly, the owner passed. I loved that show. I used to go to Denver. And then you talk about big, they had like 350 exhibitors last time I went with like 15,000 people. It's massive.
Yeah.
I've never seen excitement like this anywhere else. They had people lined up literally around the whole place. Like there might have been 500 or 600 people in line for one booth, and it was to buy seeds. And it was a trip. When I told somebody else from the West Coast, Ed might know who this is. He wears a mask. He won't show. Dad, you know who I'm talking about? The guy that sells genetics he wears a mask. He won't tell anybody who he is.
I don't know. I don't know.
That doesn't ring a bell? Okay. They said he made $2 million that weekend selling seeds in Denver at $100 a pack. So I've never seen people get that excited about anything in the cannabis business other than genetics. And I'll let these two experts talk about that. Why is that the case? Because that is the case, though.
Oh, man, I'm excited to learn that. And that's when we went to expos, we've had our fair share of doing expos, just like you guys. And you're absolutely right. It's the most popular spaces are the ones that have the exhibits, that have the examples. And then it's the speed, it's the genetics, it's learning who has what, where do they get them from, how is this something I'm going to like, is this just in general. And as you get into the cannabis plant itself, it's the base of everything. Where it starts from really determines what you're going to get as the end product. And so I'm excited about all of that right there. Let's get ready to take a quick break. And then what we're going to do is when we come back, because we've learned a little bit about you, Eric, I'm excited about what we're talking about with the expo. I think we're going to go in on this break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Slim. We're going to talk to Ed about some of the things they're wanting to expose, some of the things they're wanting to bring to the table at the expo, and then what they see happening in the future in the industry in general from their expertise. And then we're going to come back to you and see where we're going to go with the rest of this expo. All right, guys? Guys, welcome back to MCM. Here we are. And let me tell you again, if you missed out, the hosts, me with Dr. Sims, and our guest, Eric Norton, Imperious Expo. We've got Slim with Carter Creek. We also have the legendary Ed Rosenthal. Guys, welcome back. We are so happy to have you back. We heard a little bit about Eric at the start of the expo, the reasoning behind it, how big it's grown in the last 6 years. Hold on, 2016? Yes, so we're in 2023. Good. That number of years, as well as the expanding from the states, going from legal markets to non-legal markets, exploring and getting people educated about cannabis, being led by these keynote speakers. And that's who we're going to talk to next. Let's start with the first one. Let's start with you, Slim. You're You're Oklahoma born and bred. You're right down there in Broken Bow. And let me tell you, in my opinion, you're one of the biggest brands in Oklahoma for sure. Not just with the way you carry yourself, but also like we were ending the last conversation on genetics. The basic of things and what you're providing for patients is being proven, so much to the tune that you're going out of the state and showing that for other patients and people. So Slim, like, welcome. Thank you on behalf of Carter Creek and Imperious on being here. Let's hear about you, my friend. Would you be able to go in and just tell the Oklahomans, tell the people watching who you are, what you're about, what your mission is, and just let us know about you, sir.
Yeah, so I'm Slim, aka Aaron Clay, born and raised here in Broken Bow, Oklahoma. And man, I got in the cannabis game when I was around 12 or 13 years old is when I started popping my first set of seeds. That was 33 years ago this year, I guess, something like that. And I've had ups and downs in my life. I've had anybody that's been through life has run into problems if they went out there in life, So one of the issues I had that I was going to share about when we get there at the show was my battle with opioids and my struggle there. A lot of people here in the United States and the world abroad right now are turning their face to the fact that fentanyl is probably taking out more people than COVID-19 ever thought about. Because those are real statistics, that are getting reported there. You can look at the videos from any of the big cities and people are slumped over like zombies. So, there's this big evil push towards the American population, and that's how they're trying to take us out. And they're targeting our kids with, they had that rainbow fentanyl and that stuff came out. So, that's kind of like the fire that's driving my force here with Carter Creek. And that's what you'll kind of hear in my story when I share my testimony. I'm gonna go all the way back over, to my childhood, to things from that happened in my childhood all the way through jail time and the whole 9 yards. And you'll understand my purpose for cannabis and why I'm here. We're not in like any big competition that and we made a deal here at Carter Creek. We're not ever going to another cannabis cup competition again because there was some bad stigma that went around this year. And this is about education. We're new pioneers into this industry. They're not new pioneers. Let me rephrase that. We're walking into a new era of this plant, and that's becoming commercially legal for adult use and for medical use.
Right.
And what does that look like in the face of America? That's kind of where I'm coming into play at. I'm fighting back fentanyl and the opioid epidemic with cannabis. And then later on, we'll get at the show to kind of talk to you about our genetics and things like that we have put together. I've been working on some collaborations for the last couple of years, and we're going to release some new stuff at Imperious. And Mr. Ed's, I seed swap or not, I'm fixing to track down Ed's booth over there, and I'm getting some of them seeds. Or if you don't give me one pack of them seeds, I'm not coming to the next Imperious.
Hey, I'm piggybacking that. I'm coming right behind there. I'm gonna need a pack of them myself. It's coming from
kind of our main mission at Carter Creek, though, is and I've been guilty of being in a cannabis competition before, but that's not what it's all about. To say that, hey, I'm the best green grower, that's not what it's all about. What it's about is the people that are suffering with PTSD or anxiety or bipolar or whatever's going on. Maybe they have pain problems or Crohn's disease.
Yeah,
you can go on. I could talk for days about it, but that's what it's all about: getting that education out to the patients and making sure that the genetics are clean. Just like with anything, when population spreads and there's all this crossbreeding, you get viruses and stuff, and and those viruses have now been known to be transmitted into humans, like the Hopalatin viroid that just the mysterious HIV for marijuana or whatever. But CDC confirmed it as transmittable to people. So, it's transmittable through seeds, transmittable through clones. So be careful where you get all your stuff rallied up. If you get in some people that don't know what they're doing, or you get in the wrong group of people, and you're going to get an infected set of genetics that's probably not even what it was supposed to be to begin with.
That's why it's good to find find your sources and understand what you're actually partaking and putting into your system. And that's what Dr. Sims believes as well. Like I stand in the same tune. It's all about the base of everything. And just a little recap for Carter Creek with you, Slim. Not only are you a geneticist, you're not only a grower, but you also have a processing and you have a dispensary down there in Broken Bow. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So
fully integrated, right?
Yes, sir. We have 2 grow facilities here we actually have 3 grow facilities here in our town. We have 2 dispensaries here, one in Idabel, one in Broken Bow. We're partnered up with Red Billy Distribution, or Red Billy brand, and you can get Carter Creek in the West Siloam Springs store, the new Roland store that just opened. And we just took over a new dispensary in Tulsa. It's a very big dispensary. I'm not going to say the name of it right now, but you'll see the Carter Creek brand in downtown Tulsa here real soon.
All right.
Then we're gonna try to expand to other towns across the state, because as soon as we harvest a crop, man, we get swallowed up 2 or 3 days. There's not a lot of distribution down here in my neck of the woods, if that makes sense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And for those that don't know, you'll look it up. Broken Bow is in the southeast Oklahoma, near the Tallahassee Mountains. Is that not correct? And it's a beautiful drive down there, but it's a rural area. It's really good for vacationing too, guys. So if you don't I like Eureka Springs. Broken Bow is an equivalent to it because it's really woody. It's really it's like Colorado. It's a vacation spot area, and that's really good with high quality cannabis as well. So like Carter Creek, Slim, that is super amazing. Thank you so much for the intel of what's to come and what you're doing on your mission back there. Let's take it right next to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ed Rosenthal. Thank you so much for being on and hearing even this base here of genetics and things, and then you being able to come and speak. Thank you for coming to Oklahoma. Are you excited to be doing this again here?
He's got his mute on.
Oh, he's got his mute on?
Mm-hmm.
I'll text him.
No, he just.
Yes, I think.
Okay.
I think that Eric's shows are always exciting. Meet a lot of interesting people to see new products. So I am excited to be there.
Heck yeah. And thank you for bringing your wealth of knowledge to a lot of people that are going to really expand, like even Slim. I know that I've gotten a couple of your books, and I'm not a grower yet. I'm going to do it personally, but just getting the knowledge and being around you, it just helps that much more validity. Let me ask you this. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you're about to drop on us, this personal seed bank? Tell us about what you're coming into right now in Oklahoma.
I am going to be bringing some different hybrids of Superbud, and also probably some seeds generated by Humboldt Seed Company, which is a really fine seed company.
So excited to hear that. So excited to hear that. I mean, if you guys haven't made your way to listen to Ed speak, I had the pleasure of doing that in Arkansas, and it's a wealth of knowledge, things that you don't even think about. It just brings out, and it's natural. The man's been doing it forever. Let me ask you this: when did the plant touch you, Ed? When did it get to you and then become your?
Well, it was a long time ago. It was I was in college. Yeah, so
long time ago, like in what, 10 years ago? Come on, talking about college.
Yeah. Well, I've been involved in marijuana for more than 3 years. That's a pretty long.
For sure. Oh, this makes me so happy, man. Listen, Eric, so you've really set the bar at expos now. I mean, like you mentioned, you had Indo Expo, which I had the pleasure of going to. I remember one of those expos where it was a line out the door. I didn't know what it was for because I didn't understand any of seats or anything at that time. I was just
Right.
confused. Right. But to know that we shared that experience and now you've really taken that baton and you're really expanding it like tenfold. We're super excited about it. Let me ask you this. You have anything you want to tell the people as they're sitting here to close our show off with? Because I meant these two people that you brought here and the stories that are going to happen. I'm excited about. I'm going to be there, guys. We're going to be there filming. What do you have to say to the people watching it right now before they make their way to the show?
First of all, while I have the chance, I got to give you my website and Instagram, just so everybody knows. Okay, so it's
Good.
To find out updates on the show. The two best places is my website, ImperiousExpo.com. And the Instagram account is at Imperious Cannabis. Okay, so we update the Instagram daily. And so, man, thanks for having us on.
Thank you for coming on, man.
Great. Yes. And so I'm just kind of losing my train of thought here. Redirect.
Listen, that's okay, because what we're gonna do is, guys, as you're watching, this is exclusive. Like, I mean, we're so blessed here at MCM to even have these connections. This is the first wave. This is gonna be promoted for the next 2 months. This is definitely check our Instagram, check our social media, check Imperious social media. We are going to be there. We're going to do interviews while we're there. We're going to carry this over, and we're looking at our collaboration to expand more of the wealth of knowledge of cannabis all the way around by A, the experience that you have, and B, by what we can show the world by doing it. And so, like, I'm stoked about it.
Something I did just think of what I'm going to try to do for the first time. Well, not really the first time, but I want to integrate the actual expo with the after party a little bit. Are we running out of time?
No, I technology, and it's our first one, had to move the mouse out the way. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It was in your nose, so I got it moved.
Okay. So we're going to do a lot of fun things. We want to make sure that the expo and the after party run as seamlessly as possible, so it's a smooth transition. We had a great situation like that in Phoenix. It was all produced very well. Dazed. Oh, that's, give them a shout out. My buddy Dazed. Yeah, good brand. He's hosting the party.
Okay.
You could check Hatham out, check Dazed out at their Instagram is @_dazed NINOKC. So Dazed in OKC. And they'll be doing the after party.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, host of the after party. Nice. And that after party is on, is there a Wednesday?
Friday night.
Okay. Friday night.
Yeah. Friday night at 7 p.m. To midnight. It's at the Farmers Public Market. Okay. And which you know better than I. It's just not too far from I'll always make sure the party's close to the show. And anyway, y'all have already heard so much from me. Is there anything else maybe Slim or Ed wants to leave with us? I think people are going to line up at both of their booths for various reasons. And I want to give them a chance to talk about things they want to drop before we end. But
yeah. Slim, what do you got? Anything you like to close and let them know about, what to look forward to, or?
Main thing is don't be scammed on Instagram. Like he was talking about, my real Instagram is Carter Creek Slim and then Carter Creek Nation. Those are the two IGs that I got. And my Facebook is Aaron Clay. And it's got a little Carter Creek Facebook page on there. Our website is cartercreeknation.com. It just opened up today. It's been down. We've been fighting that thing for a year.
Congrats.
Don't get scammed. I don't, I'm not that guy. I operate through emails and people I know, like I'm not out there. There's a lot of people that got scammed in our name this past year. And I apologize that happened, but it wasn't us.
And definitely check, folks watching, definitely check our status, check the different messages. We're going to have all of these links down here. So you can click on these links. You'll be able to be redirected to this education and this info. Ed, do you have a website? Do you have some words you want to leave the people? Oh, hit your mute for me, Ed.
Yes, you can get to all my sites from edrosenthal.com.
Okay, and we'll put that down there as well, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, when you guys go in and check us out, like I said, you're going to have all this. Hold up. Got something we had to put on here real quick.
There we go.
You know, and this one was Sasha had this one was a personalized one, which you know that's always good. But what I love seeing are things like this. And so you know, that's the stuff that I'm not talking about. And so I wanted to say thank you, Ed, for on behalf of my production team as well. We're looking forward to coming down. Slim, I mean, as always, it's a pleasure, my friend. I'm excited about the growth and what you're placing and putting in our Oklahoma market. Eric, there it is, bro. And I'm looking forward to coming down and hanging out, bringing the team down and exposing more of this, showing more of this. So that way we can continue to grow and get people to understand how to take their medicine and utilize quality things from quality resources.
Yeah.
So, man, with that, Dr. Sims, do you have anything? I mean, I asked these fine gentlemen stuff. What do you have? You have anything you'd like to say?
I'll have questions at the expo. So especially for Ed, I got a couple questions for him for later. So
That's going to be good.
I definitely got to get an autographed book or something from you too.
Yep.
So.
Oh, man, this is going to be good. We're super stoked. Guys, we appreciate you guys being on. Go ahead, Easy.
One thing, Slim brought up the scammers. We're all dealing with that. He did get hit really hard recently. I've witnessed that, and I get hit at my shows too. Drives me crazy. If anybody ever gets an email that says, "Would you like to buy the attendance list from Imperious Expo?" That is a scam. I never sell my list. I never have, you know, and I never will. I say never, but you know, I don't sell that. They try to sell me my own list, and I email them back. Do you realize I own this anyway?
We've had to deal with it too. If you've been in business and you've had marketing and social media, you have had a name and you've had to fight some of these different nuances that are out there. And I could completely relate. Where do we get the tickets? That's the question. It's at the website?
Imperious, yes. Oh, I should have mentioned this earlier. We're can we announce something now? Can we put this in? So today we're gonna begin. It's 2 weeks. A 2-week flash sale. We did this last time in Oklahoma. A growers free ticket giveaway. Okay. So go to my website, ImperiousExpo.com, or email me, Eric@ImperiousExpo.com. And if you have an OMMA number, you get 4 free tickets.
Let's go.
Yeah, so they got to sign up before April 15th. So free ticket giveaway, and then come April 15th, the tickets go back to normal price. It's only $50. I think I'm one of the cheapest in the business. I keep it capped at $50 a person for 2 days. That's valid for both.
2-day ticket for $50?
2-day ticket for $50, full access to all the speakers, all the exhibits, nothing extra, all that. So,
all right.
That's what I wanted to say.
Guys, listen, this is going to be amazing. Follow through, check the links down below. We are going to be there. You will have the real authorized social media handles in our link. And up until April 15th, growers can get those free tickets. Guys, we appreciate you being here. Slim, Ed, Easy E, Eric, thank you guys for joining us on MCM. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the expo and more exposure, more times. Thank you guys, all right? We're signing out. Folks, we appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you on our next show of MCM every Wednesday, 7 p.m. live. Check our stuff down. Dr. Sims, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
go. Yo, let's go.
Yay.
Let's go. That's what's up. Guys, I mean, special shout out. Definitely.
Right.
Community Sound Jam. You want to go every Thursday. Rabbit Hole. First and Elgin, downtown Tulsa. Community Sound. That's the name of the event. It is. If this is what you're getting, and this is only a sample of it. Like, I'm definitely going on Thursday to check it out. Oh, and it's from anywhere 9 to midnight, 9 to 11, 9 to 1,
2,
9 to when
whatever.
they get done is what I'm thinking. So, and
9 to close.
closing time. You don't edit that. That's good. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. We're gonna end with them. That's gonna be amazing. Doc, are you serious? I hope you guys enjoyed that little interview.
Was
I want to
awesome.
apologize,
Awesome.
number one, about my closeness on the screen because I recognized it after I watched the video. But that's just great because this is live and it's ours and we can do what we want. So thank you guys for putting that in the comments and letting us know how we can always constantly improve. That's what we're about and that's what we're doing here. Definitely want to give a shout out to Eric Norton. Good friend of mine, great man, but really what he's doing for the cannabis industry, putting it. Am I at the right camera? This one, right?
Over there.
All right, I'm at the right camera. It's the corner of my eye looking. Sorry, it freaks me out. Okay, so Imperious Cannabis Business Expo. This is in Oklahoma City at the Oklahoma City Convention Center, June 2nd and 3rd. There is an after party. You want to go to his website, ImperiousExpo.com. On that website, it has everything on there. But what's really awesome, if you're a grower, if you sign up right now in between, I think it's now in the 15th.
I think it's the 15th.
I think it's April 15th. Yeah. If you sign up, you will get 4 free tickets. 4 free tickets if you're a grower.
Yep, if you're a grower.
If you're a grower. And
Licensed grower.
Definitely. So, Eric, shout out to that. Thank you so
I know
much for that.
he limits the price on his tickets too for other people, for everybody else.
Correct.
So
it's
so
$50. I
$50
think
for
you
2
guys
days.
just watched it. $50 for 2
2
days.
days, yeah.
So that's
$50 for 2 days.
and you heard them about 80 to 90 vendors is what is to be expected. That's a lot of people there,
Right
a
now,
lot of
no, he had
businesses.
that right now. Remember, he's shooting for over 100.
Holy
so, no,
moly,
he's shooting
that's
for-
gonna be a lot of
He's trying to
people.
get like 180 or something.
Yeah,
That's what
hey,
he's
I
trying
tell you
to shoot
this,
for,
there's
so.
2. We gonna
Yeah,
be there.
we'll be
So
there.
we'll have a booth there. You'll definitely want to come and check that out. Special shout out to Slim, aka Aaron over there with Carter Creek Cannabis down at a Broken Bow. Super excited to hear his story. Super excited to learn more about what they're doing and how that grassroots company is now making its way national. That's what this is about. And of course, I mean, we can't not the keynote speaker, Mr. Ed Rosenthal, aka Guru of Ganja.
Yep.
I don't need to make up and throw any other name out there. He already has a name.
Yep.
He's the Guru of Ganja. You're definitely going to want to be there. Ed, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us on that interview as well, and we look forward to seeing him. Again, ImperiousExpo.com. June 2nd, June 3rd. Go and check it out. It's going to be great. I hope to see you all there. That's going to be awesome. That was a good time, a good interview, too.
Such a good interview.
And we got more interviews coming with them. That was only a preview. So
Yep.
we've got way more in-depth things happening with them that we're super excited about. Let's go into some current events real quick, right? I mean, we're every Wednesday. Can't wait to see who we have on next week. I'm not going to give an idea. You'll see it. But we're going to have some good people on next week, as we always do. Thank you to the back-end team. It's the beginning of April, Q2,
Yep.
right?
Spring.
We're starting
Coming
spring.
into spring. Yep.
April showers. We've got Easter happening this week.
Yep.
We've got
Sunday, Easter Sunday. Just saying.
That's what's happening. That's one of the things going on. We've got First Friday happening.
Yep.
Definitely check out Studio 30. They're doing a lot of different things. You've got 420 coming up this month. 420 is going to be just
Off the hook. Just saying.
it's going to be something, I can tell you that. And so there will be a plethora of different parties and things happening there. Then we go into May. We've got actually, you've got a booth happening in a sale, right? You have, what's this thing happening?
The flea market's this weekend.
Okay, flea market.
Yeah, the Tulsa Flea Market at the Expo Center.
Yep.
So at the fairgrounds. So,
Doc is a collector
once-
and a
once
seller.
month,
So
Yeah,
then
definitely.
we've got what other cannabis things happening? We've got May happening. We've got Memorial Day coming up. So definitely go to our website. Go follow us on all of our pages, all of our links. Definitely follow the people that we're talking about, not just right now, but look them up. We're going to have Community Sound Jam. They will have their Insta, all their stuff is on our info. Studio 30 THC2. If you're needing a license being renewed, thinking about it, little endless plug there. Definitely give them a call. www.thc2.com. We'll make sure that the patients are taken care of by yours truly, Dr. Jason Sims. And I really think that's it, right? I mean, honestly, the interview we just gave was really all we had to do. Like, I mean, with this band right here,
right?
I'm just really wanting to keep jamming. You know what I mean?
Well, we got to meet them. Let's meet them though.
No.
Let's meet. Let's meet
you know what? Let's meet the band. Can we do that? Can we meet the band? Hey, can we meet the band? Yeah. Hey, can we meet the band? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't have a microphone to go over there.
This one.
Oh, they already have. Hey, they got a mic already connected up there.
Okay.
Who did that?
Just talk loud.
Damn, Daniel. What that room? Hey, listen, my team. Let me tell you, the team that we have back here, Dave and Sasha are amazing, and I can't give them enough credit. Y'all don't get to see everything. Super professional, but they've done some things to this set. Shout out to my production team, MCM. They're amazing. Dave and Sasha in the background. Andrew chilling over there, always plugging us up, doing well. And then Stoner Sam is here. Stoner Sam is back. She will be back on next week. We will have some products for her to sample and brands to talk about. So welcome home, Stoner Sam. We're super happy to have you back. Super ready to get her back on the screen. I think it'll be good getting people out there. And so, hey, okay, yeah, this is awesome. I love all of that.
They're getting the microphone set up.
So let's talk about Doc real quick while we're switching over before we meet the band, right? Last week you went to Colorado.
Yep, we
right?
did.
We sure did. I say you did. We did.
Yeah, we went to Colorado.
We went to Colorado and we went to the Indo Expo. Or excuse me, it was the NOCO Expo.
NOCO.
Forgive me.
We went to Indo a long time ago.
Correct.
So
that
was a NOCO.
Forgive me. Yeah. We talked about that in the interview.
NOCO Expo at the Broadmoor.
Wow, Colorado Springs.
Yeah, that was awesome.
What
we had a good time.
Tell the people about that expo. So we were talking about Imperious. We just gave an insight about what's going to happen at that business expo. We went to a hemp expo. Yeah. Tell people what you liked from your standpoint of going to that hemp expo.
Yeah, so we actually were able to learn a lot, see some really cool stuff, see some really cool machines.
Definitely.
For processing. And for cultivating and for all that kind of stuff. They had all that stuff there, and then all the different products that they made. I mean, there's 50,000 uses for hemp. So
yes,
and I don't know if that was in hemp paper.
Hemp paper. They had the hemp machines, so you can so they can process it, break down, so you can get the herd, which is where you make pet beds. Yep. So seeing pet beds, and then even the pet protein.
Yeah, animal feed.
Animal feed,
horses,
for horses, for chickens, for cows.
Just making it right there.
It was in one machine just being made in front of us from the seeds. That was super unique seeing that. Yeah. I think something else that really got me excited was learning about the genetics and learning that how the seeds in hemp grow completely different everywhere. So there's specific seeds in Texas that are being worked with the Texas A&M hemp program, and that's in a very dry, hot area, right? And then you've got, Then you've got Oklahoma, which is very similar to that, but Kansas, completely different. Nebraska, Idaho, Wyoming, Kentucky, Colorado. Every one of those places are so different, and so what was very interesting to me was how we're still in an early part of the game that we're recognizing what can be maximized in what region. And now knowing what we can have here in Oklahoma to bring to Oklahoma and give options with, medical cannabis and hemp in general was really intriguing to me. Not only that, they have a lot of things going for the bioplastics.
Yeah.
So biochar right now being broken down where you can now utilize this in substitution of things. The durability of it, we've seen where they were making the steel beams that are going to be in buildings. And so substituting wood beams for this biochar plastic combination was absolutely unique to watch that. Really cool. Whole hemp line. I mean, overalls, hats, shirts,
coats,
jackets, gloves, socks, underwear. Patagonia was live there, and it was a whole.
It was wild.
It was that I almost forgot about them. They were that was really huge there.
Remember the guy playing the hemp guitar? too.
Oh, okay.
Hemp
So
guitar
NoCo,
with the hemp amp.
you know what? We're gonna end up showing
Yeah.
you guys some of this next week.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it
was
filmed
wild.
and edited, and we're gonna
was
get
cool.
it cut into probably the pre-roll, and we'll make some mentions of it. But the NoCo Hemp Group has a place where they've made guitars. They've also made the amp. We all drink water, right? You know, but canned
plain
water,
water. Just plain
canned water,
pure, clean,
pure water.
filtered
This isn't
water.
a this
Yep.
isn't a seltzer. This isn't this is plain Jane. I don't even know if it was creek water. Like mountain expos are great for people to attend because if you don't know about something, the best way to go is to go to an expo because you can pay as a business, you can pay as an individual, and you're going to meet business owners, you're going to meet reps, you're going to actually get samples, you're going to get so
Definitely.
again, guys, Imperious Expo, definitely want to check it out, ImperiousExpo.com. The expo is June 2nd through the 3rd. Well, why did I say that? It's 2 days. June 2nd and 3rd. You can email Eric. It's actually on the web. Aaron Smith, the CEO of the NCIA. And so that right there is going to be absolutely amazing. And then also you're going to have Carter Creek, Aaron talking about his story. And I think there's a plethora of speakers. Again, if you're a grower, definitely you want to go in and
Get those free tickets.
your questions. Definitely just
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Medical Cannabis Marketplace, brought to you by THC2. Also brought to you by Studio 30. On this week's episode, we're going to be having a Zoom meeting with Aaron Smith of the National Cannabis Industry Association, or NCIA. We also are going to be having on set live the wonderful Ebony Jones of 828 Events. Chef Joey from Chef Joey's Edibles is going to be here. And, of course, the doc that rocks himself, Doc Sims on the camera. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, chill, and let's see what our host has in store for us tonight. The wonderful, fabulous Perry Jones III.
Man, what? Guys, I tell you, every week we're stepping it up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy midweek. Welcome to Medical Cannabis Marketplace. And I am your host, Perry Jones III. And guys, our 13th show. And we're moving up. The 13th show. 14th show?
Yeah, we did 13th last week. This is 14th show. 14th
show. That's how fast we're moving. And again, we're leveling. And as you see, we've got Dr. Jason Sims with us. But guys, next to me, you heard the lineup that's up, but we had to jump right into this queen right here. It's been a lot in the making. This is Miss Ebony Jones. Yes.
Man, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
So happy to have you here. And I mean, you can't really put a title on what Miss Ebony Jones does, because she is a multiplier, I tell you what. And I'm going to go into the story of how we met a while ago. But, we bring people that have education, information, and things that are applying to our cannabis market, our medical cannabis marketplace. And she is very valuable to the community. So, Ebony, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know it, girl. You know it. So let's go into it, because I know about you, but they don't know about you, and you need to just let them know. Let's talk about it. Where are you from, and how did you get to Oklahoma? Like you here, you're not a Okie. Your style, everything, you're not a Okie, all right?
I am not a Okie. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
I say Atlanta, but look, a song came out and I can't say it's Atlanta, so I have to say Powder Springs. I'm actually from Powder Springs, Douglasville area, if anybody actually knows what that is. And I'm a pastry chef, so certified pastry chef. I graduated from Le Cordon Bleu Culinary College, but I've always wanted to work in the cannabis industry.
Okay.
So, always, since 10th grade, my mama tried to get me to stop smoking cannabis and stuff, and I'm just like, no. And then one of my little cousins passed from a rare form of cancer at 7.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
So after that, it was just this is what I'm gonna do. So I was just applying for jobs and I was sending out resumes. I probably sent about 20 or 30, and Sublime called me back, the owner called. And he was dope. He was absolutely amazing. He was like, if next time you're in Arizona, we'll get you in for an interview. And I was like, I'm actually going to be out there in 2 weeks. Was not. My granddaddy bought me a plane ticket, and I went for the interview. And he was like, "We got a kitchen we're building in Oklahoma. Would you be open to going out there to do chocolates and infused popcorn and just gummies, all kind of different stuff?" And I was like, "Of course, let's just see." So. Yeah, 2-3 months later, I packed up everything and moved to Oklahoma. I did no research. I did not know. I was just like, God, come on, let's see what we're gonna do.
Oh, let me ask you this: so as you heard Oklahoma, what was your first thought? I always wonder when people go, "Oh yeah, I'm from such and such. I'm from here." You just said Atlanta, Cowboys, but not Atlanta. So now the mind changed. It's still Georgia, but it's not the big city. Mm-hmm. So when you heard Oklahoma, what was your initial reaction?
The first thing I remembered was the Dust Bowl from school. And then everybody's it's cold, so you got to wear thermals when in the wintertime out here, because the wind will just rip your bones. So I was like, I don't know
what to expect.
But I want a foot in the door, so I'm going to try it.
Right.
So, yeah. And I mean, it was quite different. It was definitely a transition when I got here. It was.
And you've been here now, how long now?
3 years. just
Okay,
about,
okay.
yeah.
So right at, because we're going into year 6 of the industry being in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sublime is one of the, they were one of the big brands that came in, out-of-state brands,
Mm-hmm.
have a big staple, a big footprint, a lot of different products that they were producing.
Yes, they
over
have
there.
a lot of amazing
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so you said that Le Cordon Bleu, shout out Le Cordon Bleu. I actually was accepted
Atlanta,
in the
woo-hoo.
Scottsdale, Le Cordon Bleu. I didn't go. That's not what, but I could still cook. Like I can whip it up. Like I can do some stuff. But my plans was a little different. But no, shout out Le Cordon Bleu for real. That's some official stuff right there.
Man.
And for those that haven't had it, she's gonna drop her socials and everything on here later on. But her this strawberry cake. Listen, oh man, I'm just now said just came to my mind. She's come to Studio 30. I'll just get into this real quick. How I actually know Ebony.
I forgot.
When
Tell
we,
them the story.
let me tell you, because I haven't even told you really. I remember we were at Studio 30 is what happened. There was an event that transpired about 2.5 years ago, I want to say, and it was right at the time that you got here. And you were still fresh in the game. Like you just came to events. This was just popping, so events were just really going. And the first one was like, "Yo, so what y'all do? Okay, so can I see some of my can I bring some of my desserts?" And I was like, "Desserts? Like, what are you talking about?" And she came back and did another event with us, and she brought all these desserts. And from that point, like, she solidified herself in my book. I remember talking with her, and she said the exact same story. She's from Atlanta. She just stepped out on a hunch, and her gut and her dream, and it was to cook and show her talents in the edible market. And so for her to come, and then right after that, literally see an event, not even understand what it was, she's like, "This is crazy." And like 2 weeks later, she's in here with so many desserts, and then next thing you know, it's just Ebony is boom everywhere. So for those that don't know, you follow her social. She's really grown into a magnificent entrepreneur, a woman of power, and a major shout out because, if I'm not mistaken, you just won an award.
Oh,
yeah, right.
The 30 under 30.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
From
30
the
under
Greenwood
30
Women's Business Center. Man, when I say the cannabis industry in Tulsa, they have a big part to like do with where I'm at. Like people always be like, "What's your target market of your like pastries?" And I'm like, I don't make infused stuff, but it's the people that smoke because when they get the munchies, those are the ones that support me.
Right.
You know, those are the ones that are growing with me and looking for the new desserts and telling me, "Hey, try this. I ain't like that too much. Try something else." So I'm grateful because for me, I'm like, y'all, I'm just, you know, pushing my business. So I'm really working on still taking in what everybody sees. It's like, you know, so
it's unique when you're on that platform. You don't even recognize you're on there.
Man, so but I'm very appreciative. I love Tulsa. You know, it hasn't always been easy here. It took me,
of course not.
It took me, man, when I first got here, I was like, where are all the black people at? Because it was like pandemic. As soon as I got here,
definitely COVID
like
time.
I didn't see any traffic. Like I was the only black person at my job, so it was like it was really, really difficult. I was like, oh, I'm going to work in the weed industry. I'm so excited.
Especially
when I got
coming
here
from Atlanta.
And it was like a culture shock. It was a challenge to just learn how to be by myself and really navigate a new, you know, Oklahoma is still just a tad bit behind, but they're growing with the programs that are here. You know, a lot of people thought I came with Tulsa Remote, but it's been a process. So I do want people to understand in order to get to, you know, the platform and to grow, it takes some work. It takes some crying. It takes some praying. It takes some
faith and patience.
Faith and patience, isolation, you know,
belief
in yourself, and really, you know, just keeping going. You know, you got to surround yourself with other great people.
That's the other thing.
That's the one.
I believe that one too. And you really have partnered up and been doing a lot of things with people. Not only do you have your event group that you're doing with, and actually talk about that, because I seen you coming and visiting events, and now you're putting on your events. Tell the people about what you've grown and what you're doing now with that.
It's so crazy because I think my year anniversary for my business and my first event here at studio is coming up. It was 4/24. So that is
in 1
crazy.
year, God,
1 year, man. It's
man,
so much.
that's what we were talking about.
It started out
gosh.
as literally just hosting an event where vendors came and it was like a pop-up shop, and it was a cannabis-friendly pop-up shop, and people could come and shop and get food. LaRue's Kitchen, like really, literally, I came in and I asked
Shout out
Gabby,
LaRue.
shout out LaRue's Kitchen.
Shout out LaRue.
Man,
LaRue's doing a lot right
yes,
now.
them my dogs. Them one of my biggest partners. I was like, hey, can I sell my desserts? Do y'all mind? And they was like, nah. And I was like, let's get together. Like, when can we do this again? So we started doing that, and that was 4/24 day, which turned into 8/28 day for my birthday. And Cray with the Underground Collective, him and Holly came to me and asked me to pop up at a few of their events. And I started working with Universe with Jazz, and we started hosting Plant Intentions, which is pretty much event where you set your intentions and you plant. And it's literally just grown into like healing events and collaborate and literally the community and coming together and being able to expand and use our followers to expand as a collective and as a community. That has been, I feel like that has been one of my biggest and best strategic moves since I've been out here. It's like, really trying to get in every room, not just the cannabis rooms, because, you got to get in them government rooms.
Got to.
You got to get in them rooms where, they got them suits on. You got to get in the rooms where, they just, where we have happy hour. You really, because, that's what it is. It's a lot of people coming to Tulsa. So really understanding and knowing where their programs and resources are at is very important.
Shout out Miss Ebony Jones being the 30 under 30 right here in Tulsa, 3 years in, and she stepped in and bam, boom, took it. Like, not only that, you have the event things that you're doing, and you mentioned some different partners, LaRue and Underground Collective, and the combination of you guys and bringing the community, and like you were saying, seeing different cultures combine and follow arts and follow their passions, right? And that's unique to watch in even our time frame right now, because you look at it as that it could be cannabis, it could be the art of the food, it could be the art of the event, just everybody getting together. It's really beautiful to see. That's what I can tell you. It's really beautiful to see. And it's fun.
It is
right?
fun.
Like, is it not fun to get together and hang out with people that want to do the exact same thing?
And you making money. Like, people really always be like, you're always outside. Most times I'm outside and I'm making money. You know, like I'm at the events that we're hosting are the cool events. It is, that's the fun. Like that's the fun. I can honestly say Tulsa has a great just event sector when it comes to small business owners and everybody coming together and pitching together. And we don't care if 2 people show up to the event. Hey, we're going to shop. We're going to shop with each other. We're going to make sure. Partying. And we're going to make sure each other. And a lot of them are transplants. There are some Tulsans that are coming around, which I love to see it, but I do understand that there's a lot of hurt here, and it's going to take some time, because I feel like Tulsa just started warming up to me, and I'm like, okay.
Tulsa
all right,
is
Tulsa, I see you. But,
it's a lot of growth here. I think, like you were saying, Tulsa, I call it the curveball, because like if you played sports, if you played baseball, if you wait just enough, right, it get past you. If you wait just enough, you can crack this thing out of there. But it's a sweet spot that you want to be in, and I feel like Tulsa's that curveball. Like we're not in Austin, right? We're not a Dallas, right? But we're not seen. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of things that pass through here, from music to arts to food. Right, and so it's like I call it like the armpit. It's like a little pocket. Like people don't know about it. Nah, not the armpit.
Man,
unless you use deodorant, like you gotta use a non-aluminum deodorant. You straight? I'm just saying, and use some soap, right, Doc? Right, non-aluminum, right? Man, I read some studies about that. That's
I feel you, and I feel like there's an energy right now that's attracting people to Tulsa right now, because it's a lot of people that are entrepreneurs and are, you know, remote workers and healers, it's a lot of different people here right now, and I feel like it's
in the middle of the country.
We're in the
You
middle.
know what I
We're
mean?
in the
You're
center of the universe.
Center of the universe, right?
Center of
And
the
so,
universe.
well,
It's
I
like,
mean,
ooh, yeah.
come on
so,
now, come
you know
on
what I
now.
mean?
Well, Tulsa, shout out, center of the universe. If you don't know about it, look it up. It is a real thing. It's a great place, and it is true. So for those that are watching, if you don't know about Tulsa or you're just now learning about Tulsa, the center of the universe is an awesome spot. The gathering place, an awesome
Come
spot.
to Juneteenth.
Juneteenth is going to be fun
that's
downtown.
gonna be fun.
Mayfest is awesome
Mayfest
downtown.
is too. The
First
bikers
Fridays, the bikers rally, parties at the studios are fun. Like the parties that they're throwing in different locations because they are now like moving. They're connecting other businesses that didn't even think about ways to expand their platform and getting another customer base. You guys are helping them to do that. And so like shout out to all small businesses and people really in general connecting, because that's what, just like this show, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're
That's
supposed
what we're doing,
to do, you know? Because when you realize, like, dang, because when I realized, like, I haven't seen all of Tulsa.
No.
I haven't seen all, like, going to Broken Arrow and just trying to get people to move and understand, like, you know, this is what it takes to circulate dollars. This is what it takes to find those different spaces, you know, like, to really go when, you know,
Immerse
yourself and be of community, you know, because when you, especially if you're not a small business owner, you just don't understand what it takes. So sometimes you just really have to support, man, the nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty. And the support means more than just the one transaction. You know, support is multiple forms. That's that.
Send me a
that's
text
that
message.
shout out. That's that encouraging. That's that like. That's that sharing of the post, right? You know, that referral. Like all of those different ways are ways of support, and a lot of people, they tend to forget about that when they get a little bit underneath their belt, and so. Or not even know about it at all, really.
Because they don't understand it.
They don't understand it.
I mean, because some people are used to working a 9 to 5. They don't understand when you become a business owner, it's not just, I wake up when I want to, I work when I want to. Like, you know, I actually looked up the statistics. I don't know them for sure, but I know business owners, like especially small business owners, are one of the number one people with mental health issues, because it's like, you know, like shout out to LaRue, you know, they was up for 40 hours before their grand opening. I don't even know how they made it, you know, but people don't understand when you're by yourself sometimes, this is what goes in.
You're working your business. You're not being a small business owner, just number one, being a business owner in any facet of owning the business, you're working your business. Whether you're taking care of employees or you're physically actually doing whatever the service or product that you supply, like you're working. And then those different forms of work, you don't know how to turn on and off, right? There's plenty of times where it's on your mind. You think that you're not working, but you're working. Like, yo, hey, Doc, I got this great idea. We supposed to be hanging out, and that was a work idea. And now all of a sudden we down the rabbit hole. Like, but that's work, because when your life is around your passion and your love, then for those that do it, it doesn't seem like work. It will become that way when you get in that stressful moments of finances and life, right? But for the most part, that's the other caveat for us doing it. That's the challenge. If it was easy, like everybody would be doing it. That's the sacrifice we make, because we like, I don't want to be told
what to do.
I'm done with that. Like I want to make rules. Who made the rules? Who is the rule maker? I'm going home. And then even if I have to adhere to, you know, the rules around, you still have a gray area. You still have a play area that you're able to, you know, make a niche for yourself, you know? And so I think that's one of the beautiful things about entrepreneurship you just touched on, is literally the freedom, and that is a big thing. And with the freedom, it gets into more things like yourself, right? You're a serial entrepreneur. It's not just the events. It's not just the pastries, not just the 30 under 30. She's also an ordained minister. Like, I mean, she over here marrying them, smoking with them. Like, they do the whole, she brought the cake actually too. So talk about working the 80 hours. She done did the whole thing. We put the whole. You get married, she did the whole thing.
The whole thing. That's why
I'm just giving you
know,
space. I'm just trying to create the space. Shout out Studio 30 and MCM if y'all need a space.
Hey.
A little shameless plug right there. Whatever, we got you.
You're trying to get married, hit me up.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
That's something that we really need is, that was something I was
believe in
thinking.
that too,
I love rom-coms,
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, dang.
What woman doesn't love rom-coms?
Man.
I don't think I've ever met a woman that said, you know what? I don't like rom-com. Don't play no rom-com. I will watch everything else but that rom-com. Like, I've never.
And I love to laugh, but I was always looking at the priest like, I wonder if he would let me be, if I have anxiety, would he be okay coming in here praying with me and I just finished smoking, or I'm smoking and I'm crying and I need somebody to pray with me, what if somebody needs that,
Correct.
So I was like,
it's more than just doing the wedding.
It's more than just doing the wedding. My last wedding, I messed up the lines because the love was so oh my goodness, I was like, they saying vows to me, it was just so captivating that I totally, but they understood because I was just I was about to cry. So it was I was in my own romantic movie, and I love that. I love love. And I love being a witness to it. So, being in its aura is just amazing. So I want to be able to offer that. So I'm really excited.
Ebony, you're magnificent, girl.
Thank you.
You really are. You really are a fine, shining example of what God made with women. Because you.
Because to my mama and God, man.
Right? The love is there, and you do it with everything you do in serving, right? And you're doing it from your heart, from being there to being involved to even going to the stomach, because they say that's the key to a man's heart, right? But you're doing all of those facets, and they're just different versions of yourself, and they all are a very beautiful picture. And I'm just very honored to know you and have you on with us, because let me tell you guys, y'all don't know about Ebony. Go on and follow her. Ebony, tell them what's your Instagram handles. Tell them your Facebook. Tell them all how to get to you.
My Instagram is Black Butterfly, and that's not butter. That's butter, as in infused butter. Butter. That is BLCKBUDDERFLY. Ebony Jones on Facebook, Ebony Jones on LinkedIn, but only be professional on LinkedIn, because that's our, we're trying to get the money on there.
LinkedIn is for business. And people
don't
even know. When you say LinkedIn, most are already knowing, you LinkedIn?
Yeah, so come with some money if you're going to hit me up on LinkedIn. We're trying to get these grants and this funding. So Ebony Jones on sky'sthelimit.org. Also, shout out to them if you're an entrepreneur. Check out that website. They give out grants here in Tulsa. It is pretty much a social media for business owners.
What's the name of it again?
Sky'sthelimit.org. And I actually give out. I've won about $12.50 from them to put back into my business. They've been one of my biggest, pretty much my sponsors, investors, because they have grants, especially here in Tulsa. They have actual locations where you can go and participate in fireside chats. So I know a lot of Tulsans feel like the outsider, not. The remoters are coming in, but there are when I tell you there's so many resources here, you just gotta click on the website. You just have to follow the Instagram, Build in Tulsa.
Actually, you have to do the work.
You got to do the work. That is Greenwood Women's Business Center. You got to show up and go to these places because there's so many opportunities to just be tapped in. I be outside, but everything is strategic. What?
Come on.
I ain't going to show up nowhere that it's not, we got to make sure, but I need to learn how to take some time off,
Well, that's every business owner, like you mentioned. We all get wrapped up, and then it's we forget at times what the end goal is, and because you're so immersed in doing the work that you don't recognize, hey, you hit a part, you hit that milestone, right? We still, I feel, have issues or challenges with it at times, because at the doctor's office, this man right here, he sees 100 people a day.
Ooh. Really,
Doc sees about 100 people a day. And when you talk about a person's job,
look at him. Look, that's right.
He's still here.
I'm tired.
This is.
I've been blinking a lot.
That light is bright for a reason. Yeah. It's not just to make him glow right now. It is making his eyes open. But you get into the mix, and we started in our first few years, it was so overwhelming. It's like, oh, let's go to 3 locations, and then we don't take time to celebrate that.
You're
We hit
exhausted.
the first one, the second one. It's like, yo, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, this came down. Let's pivot. Boom, 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 boom. And so, in the last few years, we've been taking more of that ourselves, and we incorporate every 5 weeks or so. We try to do every about 5 weeks, 7 weeks, where even if it's a weekend getaway, a couple of days off, we try to do a reset. Whether, Doc is a collector. People don't know this about Doc, but wait till you guys see his page. We're about to blow Doc up. This is the coolest doctor y'all ever seen. But he collects, and I don't mean like regular collections. I'm talking about autograph memorabilia. You're talking about exclusive, like Hot Wheels and Legos, and he's a knowledge man right here. He's just a ball of knowledge. And so, okay, cool. Thank you for that. Sometimes with the new shows, right, we're going to get one of those things. I'm going to get one of the things that just shows it so I know, and they type it in there, and then I'm going to get a soundboard, but we ain't going to talk about that.
Okay.
Anyways, we're going to get to that later. But what I learned is that having all that and doing all that work, you have to take that time to find that other part of you, that others still come to you, and that's that refresh, that's that vibe, that's that aura. And you only get that when you get to go. What I do is we like Colorado. We go to Colorado, and I go to Eureka Springs, and we come back ready. So I encourage that for you. That's the one thing I'd say is you, in that next first 1 year, create some time and just get ready to, even if it's a day, just go on and do a staycay. Get your little Airbnb or a real rooftop.
Because I'm waiting for it to warm up.
Get that big tub, get some Lush bath bombs.
Yes.
Lush, shout out. I have to, shameless plug. I like Lush. Lush is the shit. So, I don't know about Lush. Look up Lush. Ebony, real quick. You mentioned that the plant touched you back when you're in high school, sophomore. Tell me what's coming up next for you. What do you got on the horizon? How can people, what are you excited about?
At the moment, I have about 2 events coming up. I'm looking to do my Elephants in the Room again soon. That's my my kind of like a group therapy session where we talk about family trauma, whatever you're going through being a Black woman. But I also have an event this Friday coming up, and it's a jam and paint. It's a collaboration with Imani. And then we also have a collective currency event coming up May 7th. It'll be at BA Creative Event Center. So after those events, I'm actually just looking to accelerate my program, continue helping LaRue's Kitchen expand and seeing how, we can partner and expand together, and really just trying to set foundation and not have to hustle so much this year. I really want to be able to do large catering events and really start building a business and seeing what that looks like, so I can expand from working all the time and actually creating some residual income.
I like it.
And creating my herbal teas, and so look out for those. I have my herbal teas that are for those that suffer from painful periods, fibroids, and menstrual. So really just looking to expand, grow. Have my vegan dips coming out. We're about to expand and do some more vegan desserts. So
I need that strawberry cake myself, though.
Really working to actually just started teaching classes on how to infuse cannabis, intro to cannabis infusion as well. So
really,
yes, I would really like to, because I know the laws in Oklahoma are changing. And the weed out here is a little different. So if you want to grow and be able to actually make your own medicine at home, but you want someone to actually teach you, I'm your girl, 828.LLC, Black Butterfly on Instagram, Ebony Jones, just trying to help the community grow, just like myself, and create the spaces that I didn't have, so definitely
super
just love
stoked
to be
about
there.
that. Listen, you guys are going to check the comments. You're going to see everything. So you're going to post all of that down there. I mean, Ebony, you're on fire, girl. You're blazing out here.
Thank you
I'm
so
catching
much,
that
Perry.
win in that draft, and we appreciate you coming on the show. We can't wait to follow up with you in the next couple of months to see how all these events happen and what is going on for you after that. Again, proud of you, girl.
Thank you
proud
so
of
much.
You, girl.
I
You're
appreciate
killing
you.
it.
Thanks for having the space.
For sure. Doc,
Yes.
what you got? You want to say something?
Doc tired.
That's
I'm
Doc
not.
right there. Listen, that's how I do that. Don't act like I don't include him, okay? I already hear it. I see it. Don't say that, all right? Guys, next up, we're going to get ready to take that quick break. We've got Aaron, and let me tell you about Aaron with the NCIA. This was a great Zoom call that we had earlier, pre-recorded. You're going to love it. Great information about what's happening on the national plane with medical, or really just cannabis in general. And again, we've got Ebony Jones, Dr. Jason Sims, and then after that, we got Chef Joey coming up. We'll check in with you in a minute.
All right, coming up next, we've still got the Zoom call between Perry and Mr. Aaron Smith of the NCIA. And, of course, we've got Chef Joey coming up later, and we're going to be hearing some interesting information from our good friend Doc. Don't forget that MCM Live every week is brought to you by Studio 30 and THC2.
Folks, here we are, another MCM. And let me tell you guys, I'm your host, Perry Jones III, and we have an amazing guest on. As you've noticed, this is now our 14th show, and every show, it just keeps leveling and keeps leveling. When I said that when we started, we're going to bring in quality guests so we can get quality information about medicinal cannabis in the market, and that doesn't just mean the Oklahoma market. We're talking about the national market. Folks, I have on today, Mr. Aaron. Mr. Aaron from NCIA. Guys, this group right here, the National Cannabis Industry Association, want to make sure I say the I right because I always be messing up I's, is a national program and a national organization that has been going on since 2010. Is this correct? Yeah. When you started, 2010. And let me tell you, when we're talking about the way that cannabis is happening nationally, this is the man leading the organization for the country. And Aaron, thank you so much for being on today. I am so excited to have you on. This is going to be amazing.
Great to be with you, Perry.
Thank you. And the reason we got him on is, guys, because, you know, we've been really promoting the Imperious Expo, the Cannabis Expo that's happening on June 2nd, June 3rd in Oklahoma City at the Convention Center. You know, last week we had Slim, we had Ed Rosenthal on, and then we had Eric Norton, you know, the presenter mainstay on bringing this expo in. And he has got us with their second keynote speaker, or really their other keynote speaker. Ed is one, and then Aaron is the other. And I meant this is going to be an amazing event. So, Aaron, let's go right into it. Like, thank you for coming to Oklahoma, first off, to bring all this awareness and updates on what's happening nationally in the cannabis industry, but also your experience on the industry and the shifting in the last 13 years. Like, how awesome is that?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to coming out to Oklahoma. It'll be the first time I've been there since, I think, 2019, certainly pre-COVID, but it's the Wild West out there. I think we have more licenses than anywhere else in the country. And you know, there's some pluses and minuses for that for sure, but
Definitely.
yeah, you know, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see how, you know, every state has done things differently. Oklahoma's probably done things more differently than any other in recent memory. But you know,
very progressive, very progressive.
Yeah. Yeah, you could call it that. I mean, it's the laboratories of democracy, right? You know, that's what.
That's a good term there. Yeah,
the country's about, and so that's why we've been able to advance this issue has been at the state level, because Congress is, you know, we have made some progress in Congress, but it is painfully slow.
Would you give the folks a little history, a little backstory as to like what got you into it? What really took you to start the NCIA and really carry it to where it is right now?
Yeah, so me personally, I'm a cannabis consumer, and was even more so a cannabis consumer when I was younger and got arrested for simple possession, and it was a really bad experience. And as a teenager, teens, and that sort of turned me into an activist really early on. And I started doing work with Normal and other kind of volunteer efforts in California where I grew up, and ultimately led me to work for the Marijuana Policy Project, which does a lot of great work, changing mostly state laws, state and federal, and did that for a number of years between 2005 and 10. By the time 2010 rolled around, we started seeing, businesses in the medical cannabis industry really being treated like businesses or treating themselves like businesses. We had investment capital starting to flow, and places like Colorado where they had for-profit dispensaries, and saw that there were also just different issues that were unique to the industry. This banking issue, 280E, issues that were not, they're very business focused issues, but very important. And there was really nobody to represent industry. And like every industry has a trade association or more that represents its interests. And we thought, okay, it's time for cannabis. Started NCIA, pulled together like the top 20 or so people in the country, and just kept building on it. And back then too, in Congress, that you'd be laughed at for talking about, oh, you represent the cannabis industry. Even, Democrats, Republicans alike would mostly laugh at us. There was 2 or 3 members of Congress that were willing to come out and support full legalization, but that was it. Now we've, advanced to the point we've got, pretty majority support on a lot of our issues.
Nice. And that goes with, obviously putting in consistency, getting your face out there, really advocating, which is what a lot of people don't recognize when we get into the industry, right? They just see it, like you kind of mentioned, we all have our run-in with it, but to legitimize it, to understand that it is normalized, and then show it on the same plane, wow, that speaks volumes right there. Kind of go into like, what do you see happening right now on a national plane with how things are going? Can you kind of explain from your standpoint and from that house how you see things?
So we've been working in Congress, like I said, and they're right now we have a divided Congress. That we thought we were going to end last year with at least passing the Safe Banking Act, which would have provided access to banking services, lending, opened up access to capital for a lot of the especially smaller businesses struggling in the industry. Sadly, that didn't happen, but we're still, that was really Democrats honestly that had the majority, but we're still unable to get that past the finish line for a number of, I think, reasons that were outside of cannabis control. It was more of a political dysfunction that exists up there. But this year we're still pushing hard on that. Feel pretty good that there is a good path to victory on it still. Nice. Certainly not promising anybody anything, but and then also just working on the I would call that an incremental change, getting banking. There's other incremental changes that we're working toward. Just yesterday, the Small Business Tax Equity Act was introduced in Congress, which would would resolve 280E, allow businesses in the industry to take deductions.
Okay.
So we're going to be pushing really hard for that over the next year. And that's probably the biggest issue facing our industry.
Man, I think it is. Yeah, for every business, yes, for everybody who's in business and those that are out there, like, ask someone who's in the business what 280E is, and they'll tell you that is definitely a headache for the business owners. And I think that is a huge hurdle that you were just mentioning that will actually change the landscape just to operate, right?
Yeah. Imagine, it's no other, you talk to someone outside the industry and you say, hey, we can't take our business deductions, and people they take a double take, like, what? How does this industry even exist?
How are you operating? What do you mean? Like, yes. Yeah. It is a complete difference.
Yeah. And then also, working on, those are kind of some incremental reforms we work toward, but we're also, in some ways, more importantly, really laying the groundwork and having the conversations for what cannabis legalization is going to look like down the road. We're not going to see federal legalization in the next two years or 3 years. I don't think. I think we're looking at 5 or so years out. But the conversations are happening now at very, very substantial conversations at high levels that never really happened before last year. That's one thing I think was a turning point last year, was that we you had the Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer getting behind a bill, very comprehensive bill that talked, that spoke to how we're regulating it and taxing it, and interstate commerce, and all of these things. As prior to that, members of Congress would introduce legislation that was very bare bones. It wasn't because they didn't think it was really going to go anywhere. It was just legalizing this thing and deal with it later. So then that bill that was introduced last year is far from perfect, and but we're working to make sure that we can improve it as it moves along in the process. And from our perspective at NCIA, we're really making sure that small businesses are included in the conversation, because when like I said, we started years ago, we were the only game in town, but now you have big MSOs that had hired their own lobbyists, and they're spending a lot of money on lobbyists in DC. But we're making sure that all of the other 90% of the industry that couldn't afford to hire a K Street lobbyist can, through our association, have a voice.
That's awesome. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Well, my first question really, because you mentioned the national standpoint. How is it with the individual states and the NCIA? Do you guys partner with or work with individual states as well on the national level?
Yeah, I mean, we sort of work hand in hand with many state trade associations that are out there that are independent. We focus on national and federal, but obviously it's very interconnected, and everything that happens in the state kind of trickles up, and it goes the other way too. So we work closely with a number of groups to make sure that we're aligned in our policy efforts, and making sure that we're encouraging our members to get activated on all fronts. And I mean, every time a state flips, you have, it goes legal, or, goes medical, or goes legal, whichever way, that brings along members of Congress that now represent that state, that, hopefully change their views. And that's something for Oklahoma we'd like to see a little bit more of, and, get an understanding that, these members of Congress are now representing a state with not just the cannabis where it's legal for medical purposes, but there's a robust industry.
Correct. An emerging robust industry for the state. Because I mean, I believe in a good amount of states, it can become a good cash crop if they allow it to be. And so, well, let me ask you this, because I know we mentioned the cannabis, and most would just think that it is just like what we know of our personal head high, cannabis, THC. What about hemp? What are your thoughts on hemp? And does the NCIA work with the hemp? And we'll start with that first off. Does the NCIA work with the hemp and cover all of cannabis, or is it just the THC?
We do focus on, I guess I would say cannabinoids. So
okay, I like that.
We're not working on industrial hemp issues at all, but we are in the business of cannabinoids, which more and more those could be derived from marijuana or from hemp.
Right.
In some cases synthetic altogether. So we do work, we're working to advocate for, of course, we think the FDA should be, providing oversight and regulation to cannabinoids, hemp-derived cannabinoids or marijuana-derived cannabinoids. And a growing number of our members are in that sector. And we, our kind of view of this is cannabis is it's a product, it's a plant that can be used for a multitude of products, and they shouldn't all be treated the same, right? We propose regulatory lanes for different types of products. You have cosmetics and lotions that you could buy at Whole Foods, right? And those should be, there needs to be oversight there, but it's not going to be treated the same as, a beverage that has THC in it, or a pharmaceutical. So, and that's, and I think now that as I said, those conversations are advancing on the Hill in DC, that's, there's a really more of an understanding around that. It's not just weed anymore.
Yeah. I think that the awareness made to the plant itself is really opening up, like you mentioned, a lot of conversations, and some of those conversations are now moving up in the plane. And so one of the main questions I had, which you automatically already had answered, was your thought on the federal legalization. And I meant to know that each state, I mean, we have a lot of states that already have a medical program or an adult use program, and then even more states now coming on with the hemp and the derivatives that, we mentioned of the other cannabinoids, and getting oversight from the FDA. Listen, folks, we're going to take a quick break. I can't wait to hear more about what you're going to bring to the Imperious Cannabis Expo. Guys, we're going to follow up with Aaron here in just a moment. Stay tuned. And we're back, guys. We've got this special Zoom call with Aaron with NCIA. Aaron, we're excited to hear about what you're about to do with the expo. Tell us more about it.
I'm happy to come and to sort of give that, the broader picture of what's happening nationally, both at the state level and at the federal level, and what that means for the future of the industry in terms of policy reforms like 280E, like banking. Hopefully we'll have some, even a further update by then on where those initiatives stand as we continue to move through the process. And also, I hope to get the folks there really activated, the folks in the state activated to start advocating for themselves, because, unfortunately, you look at the, Oklahoma senators, Langford and Mullen are not fans of our issue. And most of the, we didn't see a big shift in attitude in members of Congress or government when the voters implemented the medical cannabis law. And hopefully that, the defeat of the adult use law doesn't, that happened, I think, at a very unfortunate time. But that, that medical cannabis is still in place and thriving. So
they got all these new things with, like you were mentioning, the new laws that were, and let me rephrase it, not necessarily the new laws, it's the laws that were already there that weren't implemented yet, right? Like I like to call that the prohibition stage, right? It's one thing to say it's here, it's one thing to get acclimated to what's happening, right? Whether it's the consumer or the businesses. And I feel like what you were saying there, that's what's transpiring now, where they're starting to see the program or see itself kind of like take a shape, right? Get a lane, like you mentioned before, and start to navigate in those lanes.
Yeah. And I think there's sort of, because adult use, or recreational as it's called, that sort of taken a lot of the attention in the news. And so I think members of Congress and elected representatives in states like Oklahoma that have medical cannabis still think, well, we're not legal, so none of this stuff applies to us.
Right.
But 280E absolutely applies to the medical cannabis business. The banking situation absolutely applies. So, something like 3/4 of the country live in a state with some kind of cannabis industry. If you look at the medical industry, so it's important that the Oklahomans that are in the industry, speak up for themselves, work through associations like ours, but also come out. We've got an advocacy day in DC coming up as an opportunity to advocate for themselves, but also in the communities, show up to town halls, show up to city council meetings, show up to fundraisers, and make yourself your presence known.
Let me ask you this on a side note, because you just made mention of individuals getting out there, and then different groups starting to come together. Like, how would I best ask that? Because there's multiple states that have multiple groups that are representing the industry, right? How do you really define a group that is really advocating for the people when there's multiple groups out there? How do you determine that on a national, from your expertise, because you have a group that's doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's important that to the extent we can, we speak with one voice on some of this stuff. So, for all the other groups that are out there, we welcome them to join our Allied Association program, which is it's a free program that other groups can join, other associations, like usually state groups, and they have a monthly call and they can talk about what's happening in all the states, what's going on to keep connected, and also to make sure that, you know, that they are working, you know, when we're talking about federal policy reform, that they're all kind of working and rowing in the same direction. And so that's, you know, but it is challenging with every state being so different. Of course, you have different state groups, and within each state, you have multiple groups in some cases.
Yeah.
I do tend to really try to encourage folks to, you know, don't just start another group if you can find another one to make better, you know, and because, you know, we only have so many resources, and it's important that we remain focused
and pull them together, because when they were together, it makes it easy. Man, Aaron, listen, I am so happy that you're able to join us today. I think this is a great introduction to you in Oklahoma, and to the industry coming in, as well as the expo, right? And so with you being able to speak there and bringing this knowledge on a national level, the NCIA is getting ready to make a staple in Oklahoma. I already feel it. And with your leadership, I'm excited to be able to link in and start to see the growth of what we can change as a country, individually, for the country with this new plant, you know, not new, but the way we're consuming and doing it new ways, you know. Guys, again, listen, this was just an amazing snippet, because I like to follow up with all of our guests. I'm so excited about seeing him down on June 2nd, June 3rd at the Imperious Cannabis Expo. You're going to love it. You're not going to want to miss him. You're not going to want to miss Ed. You're not going to want to miss Eric Norton. You don't want to miss it, is what I'm going to say. But Aaron, I just want to say thank you for your time. I look forward to catching up with you down at the expo and learning even more about what's happening on a national level with your leadership.
Right on, me too. Thanks so much.
You're definitely right. Guys, we appreciate you. Make sure you pay attention. We've got more coming on, man. I'm so happy to have Aaron and his knowledge and then everything else that we're bringing. Stay tuned, guys. We got more.
Hey, I gotta link up with you with this.
Straight
Let's
up.
go. Hey, guess what, guys? We're live and we're back. And I mean, that episode right there, that was just so cool sitting with Aaron. Man, on a national plane about cannabis, that's super huge, guys. I mean, like, I'm super stoked about it. But listen, sorry, I'm not supposed to tap that for sound. I get in trouble for that. My apologies for that. Theatrical. Okay, thank you. Guys, we got the legend here. I mean, this is Mr. Man right here. This is Chef Joey in person.
Oh, I thought
right
you were talking
here.
about the doc.
Oh yeah, the doc is it. He gets no introduction. They get him. I need to get you a little name tag, doc.
Flashing
So we need a
one.
little flash one that just says pot doc. No, we should do that. No. Okay. All right. I ain't gonna do that. Anyways, enough about him. Let's talk about him. This is what we're talking about, guys. Look at this. And this is only a little bit of what this man has done. Chef Joey, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. And by the way, the woman before me,
Ebony, yeah.
Ebony is, can I curse?
Yeah.
She's fucking awesome.
Isn't she?
She's so awesome, bro. And listening to her was bringing tears to my eyes.
She's powerful, man.
Oh, she's dope.
Like, she's super inspiring. Inspirational is probably the better term there. But like I mentioned before, like, I really have watched her come into the industry and move, and she's memorable. That's what I said. I encounter a lot of people. You encounter a lot of people. Yeah. Doc, you encounter a lot of people. But only so many people stick out in your mind. And Ebony was one of those for me 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago when she first came. And to watch the evolution of now, she came to one of our events. Now she's doing events. You know, the inspiration to know that you've seen something, you can go and get it. And I'm an ordained minister, like just everything, and it's not just cannabis, you know. So like it just she's really powerful, and I mean it ties in with you because y'all are both chefs. You got that in common right there. Be in the kitchen whipping it up,
and we both love God and Jesus. I mean, come on, this is awesome.
Listen, everybody should love. Well, I'm gonna go and say, everybody should love God and Jesus, but that's a personal take, right? And so I'm gonna let y'all do what you want to do.
There's a
I'm gonna
t-shirt.
tell you what I think you should do, and that's all there is to it because it's our live show. So there's enough of that. All right.
Not only that, I've always said that this is God's plan. This thing has done so many things for so many people. I have a friend of mine, Case God, is a photographer out of OKC.
My man, Case, yeah.
He's fucking awesome, dude. He
just had a baby. Shout out, Case.
Oh, man,
Congratulations, bro.
homie,
Definitely.
straight up. Yeah, and he asked me the question, and I love the question. He's like, "What's your why?"
Yep.
And everybody in this industry has their why, and it's amazing to hear how many times it doesn't matter how many times you hear the same type of story, it still touches your soul. And this is the reason why I always said, it's God's plan. And to have an ordained minister, and she's just a rock star as a human being, like straight up, man. To have her, Ebony, before us, man, that was pretty fucking awesome to sit here and just watch that.
Man, thank you so much, and thank you, Ebony. Shout out the team. You guys don't know this, but Sasha and Dave, those are my guys on the back end. That's a part of our production company. They really lead it. They don't only just film and take photos and do the audio and make all this look good and stuff. They also are the ones reaching out and making sure we get our connections with our guests, right? I put in my take. I'm like, I think I'd like to meet this person, this person, this person. They're the ones out here making that happen. So, like, I applaud my team in the back, because every week, 14th week now, they bring the heat. I mean, look at it. We keep evolving each week. And so, like, this is what this is for, is to let others know in the market, let others know, whether you watch this right now on April 19th, 2023, or you catch this later on, you're going to still know that, like, what we do is genuine, and what we're doing is to let people know of what's to come and the realness of real things, real people, real stories, real things happening around here.
Keeping
you know
it
what
real.
I mean? I think so. I think that was like on a, what'd you just say?
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. When keeping it real goes right.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I think that's hey, mark that. When keeping it real goes right. We're going to put that down somewhere. I know it's already out there, but I'm trying to take that.
Another
I'm gonna
t-shirt.
add that to something. I mean, Doc said it. So, Chef, let's go right into it. We have a lot of synergy. You have a lot of synergy with a lot of people. Your energy is infectious. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It reminds me of that young kid go-getter. You know what I'm saying? He is a true. He's from New York. I'm gonna let you tell us your story and who you are. But let me just tell you, this is. I like '80s. I like hip hop.
Oh, yeah.
I like b-boys. I like breakdance, and I like graffiti. There's an era about the New York in the 80s, 90s, early 90s that was just raw. You know what I mean? And when I met you, I automatically got that vibe. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like old school. Rakim, I'm thinking old school, like, KRS-One. I'm thinking old school, like, I feel like I put you in that essence, because the vibe just makes me like, it's that old respectable, but still could be just it's still relevant.
True story. Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. And so I met, first time I met KRS-One, I met him, and I was so touched and so moved by him. Knew his life story.
Yeah.
This is pre-internet, man. This is '88. And he blew me away. He was so knowledgeable. He was so much more than I thought. And he asked me to freestyle, and I got so emotional. I fucking cried.
In the freestyle?
No, I just cried. I couldn't say shit at first, dude. I couldn't do anything.
Damn.
He moved me to fucking tears. That man is like such a incredible human being, man. And that is totally my era, man. It's crazy. So back in the 80s, there was this baseball player, Candy Maldonado.
Okay.
His cousin, I went to high school with out in Center Reach, Long Island.
Okay.
Center Reachians, man. And
Center Reachians.
Yeah. Peace out to all my Center Reachians. Yeah, I did quite well in track and field also. I broke a couple of world records in high school. I got a scholarship
What
to
events?
the
What'd
university.
you do?
High hurdles, high jump.
Yo, I did hurdles too.
yeah.
What? Get out of here.
Yeah.
I didn't break no records. I almost broke my ass in a leg or two.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I did some wording.
I broke the hurdles.
You ran through the hurdle.
I ran right through 'em.
Fuck that hurdle.
Right
Yeah, but that was in the late 80s. That and a bag of chips now gets you a bag of chips.
Yes.
But getting on to cannabis and my history with cannabis, I started off very, very young.
Okay.
I grew up around a bunch of Italian businessmen.
Ah.
My father was not one of them. My father was like the king of kings, man. My dad was, all my uncles who were all involved in whatever they were involved with, they all feared my father, respected my father, came to my father. You know, he was kind of like, he was like the consultant to them. Fucking man was wise. He had just so much heart, but he just didn't have the disposition for that.
For that, correct.
Yeah, no, he believed in real honor. Did you ever see A Bronx Tale?
I was,
right,
bro,
so-
I was
so when-
waiting. So,
so when-
just so you
yeah.
know, I was literally just sitting here like, yo,
When Robert
I'm waiting
De
for,
Niro
I'm
goes-
ready to drop this. I was like, so your dad's Robert? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Your
Yeah.
dad's Robert?
Yes.
Yes. That's
Fucking
one of my
tough
favorite
guy,
movies.
Tough guy, the guy goes to work every
Yes,
day. You know
every
how fucking
day.
hard that is?
Golly,
Yeah.
guys, if you don't know A Bronx Tale, it's one of my favorite movies. It's definitely in my top 10. Yes, like, damn, I just relate to that. Yes, okay, so,
But-
damn, your dad was Robert.
Yeah,
Get
dude,
out of
yeah,
here.
and my mom was his wife. My mom
Yeah.
was ride or die, still is. My mom is queen. My dad was fucking king, man. So being raised with that and that whole Italian side, and then being a complete b-boy, and my chosen family. All my friends were Puerto Rican, Black, Jamaican, Haitian,
Yeah,
Dominican.
yeah.
So yeah, I was
The melting pot.
Oh, dude, New York.
Yeah,
New
yeah,
York.
yeah.
And oh my God, man, getting to travel all over the city and breakdancing against legends. I remember being 14 and being in a battle, our crew against Rocksteady.
Get out of here,
Rocksteady
bro.
started. They created fucking breakdancing.
You broke
Dude,
your
they
kids?
sent Lady Dove after me, and she shitted on me. Dude, she embarrassed me, and I was so happy. I was like, "Can I get a hug?" I was such a herd, bro. But it didn't matter.
This is pre-internet, guys. This is
Yeah.
pre-internet where
Yeah.
you had to be there, or you know the story
Yeah, I'm
comes
sorry,
from
yeah.
mouth, right? So wow. Come
So
on.
that now, back then, 1984, I started experimenting with food and weed.
Okay.
Now, this was extremely taboo. I didn't want anybody to know. And my father wouldn't kill me, but I sure as fuck thought he was going to kill me if he found out. So I did everything on the super hush. But I just started steeping. First thing I did was what everybody did.
Yep.
I was 14 years old. I grinded up some weed. I put it in a brownie mix, and I baked it. And I had...
Ate the weed.
Oh, dude, it tasted like it tasted like dog shit leaves inside a brownie mix.
Oh gosh, there's not enough brownie mix to cover that chocolate, you know.
So then I started doing what any Italian kid would do. Okay, we got fucking gallons of olive oil. I'll steep it in some olive oil, and well, shit, I know how to cook. I've been making pasta since I was fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
So I started making pasta, meatballs, some sausage,
Mixing
brujol.
stuff.
Very small batches, trying to be as incognito. My dad was broken neck, broken back. He was a medical shit show.
Okay.
They had him on so many fucking drugs. And at 14 is when I had my first aha moment, when I made a meal and he came in on me. And I was like, oh shit. It's like, fix me some of that. And I was like, oh shit. Now, I tried so hard to hide it with garlic, onions.
Yeah.
Excuse me, red wine, all these fresh and dry herbs. It was really...
Still pungent.
No, it wasn't. It was
No?
pretty fucking nice, actually.
Oh, okay.
And my father, I don't know what the fuck, maybe it was the drugs that he was on, that he didn't taste the weed in it, because I sure as hell did. But my dad didn't sleep but maybe 1 or 2 hours a night. And after that meal, he slept like 7 hours in the same
Changed
position
it.
on the couch. And
That
I
was
had
it.
that, yeah. And after that, I started telling people, mind you, this is 1984, I was telling people, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do for a living. Me and my buddy George Vargas, yeah, we're in the Nice and Hot crew.
Nice and hot. I like it.
Nice and Hot Productions, man. We're
Yes,
gonna do everything. We're
yes.
gonna do a rap album. We're gonna build a house all out of weed. It's gonna be like $20 million. And back then,
And making
84,
videos.
yeah.
And getting videos.
Yeah.
This is when
And
videos were lit.
beatboxing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Gosh, I'm an 80s baby. I mean, I was born in 83, but I resonate with that era so much. And I think, my father being that, coming right out of high school into the 80s. It's just, Doc, you got a lot of history in the 80s
I do,
too.
yes,
So
I do. I was a national karate champion in 1984.
Oh, shit.
See, that's some badass shit,
Damn,
bro.
you're a Chuck Norris and motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Shit,
Still
Karate Doc is what
still
is
have
new
still
name?
have the trophy. Yeah.
By the way,
Damn.
fuck around, Doc will knock your ass out.
Hey, listen, fuck around and find out.
So-
It'll be something.
And I was breakdancing too.
You were breakdancing too?
Oh yeah, I was
Dude, I
breakdancing
love-
too.
Holy shit.
Yeah, breakdancing was my parents.
Yep.
used
Damn,
to-
I didn't even
Breaking,
know that
breaking
about
two,
Doc.
Electric Boogaloo.
Breaking Electric
Yeah.
Boogaloo.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that-
14 was a good year for me.
Yeah.
I told my dad at 14 that
Damn,
I was
that's
going to
cool.
quit track and field to
Okay.
become a professional breakdancer.
Yep, sounds about right.
So he died laughing, and then he gritted his teeth. He looked at me. He goes, "You want to fucking breakdance?" I'm like, "No, I want to run track tomorrow, Dad. I want to run track. I'll be
I'm
there
going
on
in.
track.
I'm going in.
I'm running track tomorrow, Dad."
Oh shit! This is, man, I love this shit. This is what we do this for. This is what makes me happy.
And we still haven't really gotten into weed yet.
I
This
know
is
that's
fun
what.
as
That's
fuck.
why.
I know,
This is
right?
what's so cool about this is that you get to learn about people, and you have so much synergy together that until these stories start to flow, you don't know how it all connects, right? I completely transparent, 100% honest. I have been friends with Doc now 7 fucking years. I didn't even know he was kicking ass in fucking '84, roundhouse and motherfuckers. Let alone
I was
know he
little.
was breakdancing. Like I didn't know Doc was a breakdancer. Like I'm ready to now go find these old
I was
photos at
much
his house.
thinner.
And see this
I was
shit.
much thinner.
Oh,
then.
seriously?
See? Like
dude, I
I'm
had-
saying. That's
So one of my friends sent me a video about 7-8 years ago of my senior year, and we were doing this breakdance shit and at a talent show, and my son was like, "Damn, Dad," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Fucking good."
Yeah.
I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
I was so happy, man, because my son, he was in his 20s and shit, so I was like, "I impressed the 20-year-old. That's fucking
Yeah,
so
right,
dope."
right.
Yes.
My story. My dad's, my son's. Back in my day, was right when the Cisco era happened. A little just embarrassing moment, so we can get those out there. I was definitely didn't know what a fucking thong was in high school, right? I didn't use my virginity till after 19. I was graduated already.
Dang.
I was singing the fuck out of that thong song, but I went, this is when I had hair. And I was one of the first cats, I dyed it. So I had the bleach blonde, it was popping, I was hot shit. Then I did the silver, and I was like, oh,
Odell
fuck
Beckham
yeah.
and
I
shit,
did it.
man.
I was like, oh, hell yeah. Well, just so happened, somebody had posted, because I did this for a prom. I went to prom all 4 years. So one of the proms I went to, I dyed the hair, and it's circulating in one of the Facebook photos now. They're like, oh, Dad, you did that blonde hair, blah, blah, blah. So, it was cool because my edge up was live. I was fresh when I had hair. But that's my little embarrassing story.
Oh, dude, Cisco was hot as fuck back then.
Come on, man.
Come
Cisco
on,
is
he was
the
hot
shortest-
as fuck. I don't
Shit.
care what you said. I looked at him. I was like, I don't care how sweet he looks. Look at the booty he is getting. My God, he is
That's
back.
it. He
and
was
he can
stacking.
sing his ass off.
He was
He
stacking.
can sing his ass off. Who the fuck am I to hate?
I meant the man had the dragon. I go, what the fuck? Who's bringing dragons out? Who's this guy? I want to be like this. I had no idea what a thong was. I had no idea. I was shaking and jumping, and I won the talent show senior year on that song. Shout out Glenpool High School. Your talent show winner, Perry Jones III. Let's go right into. Let me get in because I can keep going with these stories. This is why I love this podcast or broadcast, as my man Andrew coaches me and tells me, because we get to really it's our time. We own this. This is our show, and we can do what we want. And so with that, we could take these stories to however we want to go. And it's really cool to learn about the heart of people, because that's going to help to sell their products. When you know the person, it makes it easier to buy from them because you can relate to it. And that's the main thing, is educating and getting people in front of it. Chef, let's go right into what brought you to Oklahoma, because we talk about all this other stuff all day. Let me talk about what you're here for. What got you into Oklahoma market and starting to build the brand that you currently have, man? Talk to me about it.
So I started working for a company 2011, 2012, Magical Butter.
Okay. Familiar.
Yeah, Garen Angel, the guy who created the machine. Fucking guy's a genius, badass. He created this machine. He's like, listen, I'm going to create this butter machine.
Magic butter.
It's going to allow you to make all these different types of infusion. And I'm like, all right, once you got the infusions, what the fuck are you going to do with them? You're going to need a chef that has recipes.
Right?
So I was like,
hello.
hook a brother up. So sure enough, man, he hired me. And pretty much for 5 years, I got to hone in and perfect how to make thousands of different types of edibles. I mean, probably 25 to 30 different condiments, like 17
Everything,
different granolas, 14, 15 different styles of gummies, all different types of nuts, chocolates. We have a salve that we are using with professional athletes right now. It's called Body Guac. It is
Body Guac?
Body Guac. It's made with RSO.
Guac?
Guac. So
I definitely want to try
the
that.
RSO turns it green,
Yeah.
and Body Snot just didn't have an appeal. So
Yeah.
Right, yeah, not really.
Man, get that snot off me.
so
Okay.
my son came up with the name, and he said, "Hey man, call it Body Guac. It's a body
Like
butter."
guacamole.
Yeah,
I like that.
It looks like guac, but it's not. That being said, it is by far the strongest topical on the planet.
Oh, yeah, we need to get down on
4-ounce
that.
jar has 20,000 milligrams
Whoa.
of THC.
Wow.
20,000.
Yeah, I
You
haven't
only
seen
need
any
a
of that high.
fingertip of
Yeah.
that.
You don't need
That-
much.
oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So my son calls it the magic touch because you swab it and whatever you touch, magically the pain goes away.
That's out.
Mhm.
Automatic. That's.
I want to try that.
It also has.
I'm
I think we're getting up on that.
Everybody knows I'm like that's my
Doc
forte
Doc
is topical.
He's not, Doc is
so,
a topical.
Yeah.
See,
Doc, yeah.
I'm an edible. Edibles are what I have perfected because I've been a chef my whole life.
Right. Is that your
My-
preference?
My preference is dabs because I'm
Okay.
a massively high tolerance human being. And what we started doing about 6 months ago was we started perfecting nanotechnology.
Okay.
And what
We're
we're- what
familiar
we've-
with it. We like that.
What we've done is we've just figured out the way to make sure that we can break down the front half of the infusion so damn small that it bypasses your entire digestive system and it pretty
Goes
much
straight in,
straight
bloodstream.
into your bloodstream. So you're looking at a 10 to 15 minute onset. We have a single edible that's 400 milligrams. It just tested at 450 milligrams, just at the maximum legal
one?
amount. One. 3 layers, triple tripper. 3 layers.
Triple.
That's
See,
a lot.
see, but
This
here's,
is thickness.
this is not made for people.
Normal.
This was made for my dad. My dad
Heavy.
was cancer patient.
Yeah.
Broken down man, deteriorating spine, his entire neck fused, nerve damage in his elbow.
Need
a
the-
medical
need the
shit show.
strong- yeah.
He went from 40 pills a day to 0 pills a day with edibles,
Wow.
with cannabis. I didn't do that. Cannabis did that. That's God's plan. Thank you, God.
Yes. Shout out God.
Yeah, shout out to God for your
has
plan.
said, yeah.
Yeah, the shizzles.
Give me some more. Give me some
Give me
more.
some more. Hey, Lord have mercy. I love this damn
I
motherfucker.
love this shit. And so that's okay. So you just mentioned that that's how you got into Oklahoma or got
So that's how
into
I got
the
into
game.
it. So what happened with Oklahoma was
Yeah.
I was working for one of the big 6, the original 6 licenses in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I went from Magical Butter to a company called the Freya Liberty Health Science, and it didn't work out. It wasn't going to work out. It was going to take about 2 years for them to finally get into the edible game.
Okay.
So
So the delay.
it
It's a
was
major
too
delay.
delayed. So my wife and I decided, you know what, we're going to start this with the CBD.
Okay.
And I'm going to work on getting out into other states since this is such a closed market.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a phone call from a buddy of mine, and he said, hey, man, I got to grow down here. You want to come down here and make some of your edibles? So I was like, fuck
Bet.
yeah, I do. Yeah, actually, I really, 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 really want that. So I came down here, and a guy by the name of Corey Hunt, OK Purple.
That's my guy.
Passed
So,
away, yeah, love it.
shout out
That's
for people that don't know. Let me just jump in on
Yes,
this right
please.
now.
Please.
Me, Corey Hunt, and my wife Whitney. When Corey first came to the state, some people may know this. We never really talk about it. We were the ones that's launched with Corey. We started to do the education series, and we were getting people their licenses, understanding the game, old school. Like we rented out hotels, lobbies, and we would go in their conference rooms, and we would have these pop-ups there. So a plethora of business owners that started in the game learned their stuff from Corey and my wife, and we went through multiple courses. Corey also put on a course that was the major course in the state of Arkansas. That's where he was from. And so his education course is what actually launched their state. And he had hands on that. When he came to Oklahoma, we were able to expand and the legally healed, which is I've got the photo, I've got the picture. I've got one of like 12 pictures that he had made sitting in my living room right now. Corey Hunt was an amazing young man, and when you talk about a forefront or a pioneer in the cannabis industry, especially in Oklahoma, you can't speak about it without mentioning Corey's name. And Corey, and I thank you for even bringing him up, because that he was really close to me. Like, he was really a great friend of mine. Yeah, he said, like, dude, Corey did a lot, man. Like, Corey was on it, and then he started his OK Purple, which had his FICO that he started. You took over?
I make FICO now because of him.
Okay,
That's
okay.
The reason why
that was what he
company,
needed, is what he was taking.
FICO has done so much for him. Corey did so much for us.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Corey, we would have never gotten here when we got here. This company would have never gotten off.
His reach was crazy. Knowing that you said it was him that hollered at you.
He rented out his back, 1,000 foot of his back space. We did a bunch of stuff too. We did a bunch of improvements as a thank you. Oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. He was nothing but gracious. He was nothing but incredible. The guy was always first to help. It didn't matter. He didn't, I have a saying, and I say it a lot, man. I believe in camaraderie over competition.
Yeah.
Camaraderie will win. We win. I might be strong, but me and you, we're stronger. Me, you, and Karate King over here. We got Karate Doc over here. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yes. Forget about it. Man, kicking ass in here. No,
But that's
thank
that's
you guys.
how I got in.
That really just touched me, man.
How awesome!
When
my
he
CEO
said Corey
says it all
reached
the
out
time.
to it, Corey was connecting a lot.
Magical Butter. When he was with the Legally Healed.
When he brought Magical Butter here, he was like, "Yo, P, you got it." We have one at my house, literally sitting there, because Whitney,
I have one
started
too.
with, he's got Doc's got one. I remember when that came, and it was just
home infusion. Hit
home
2 buttons,
infusion,
bada boom.
boom. And now my wife was fucking us up, bro. Like, she didn't even know. She's like, "Oh, but this, that, we're getting fucked up in there." That Magical Butter was dangerous,
bro. We did
dangerous. So shout out my man Corey. Sorry. Rest in peace. Rest in happiness. Corey Hunt was an amazing pivoter, innovator for our industry. And so that's awesome to know that he fucking designed your shit. I didn't even know.
One positive thought can change your whole day. Typical effing Corey.
Yep.
This was the first product that we had designed and bagged.
Okay.
We landed in OKC, and he got our agave gummies into edibles 12 days after I got here. 12 days.
And he was on it. He was on his shit.
He's like, "You're going to process under my license until you get your license." And I'm like, "I fucking love you." And just willing to help, dude. The guy, it was.
That's how we got again, my wife, we started the OCBA. And that was the first. There was the Oklahoma cannabis trade. I think that was happening before us. But when we launched the OCBA, that was with Corey and his help in forming that. He was a major player in that. The structure, the education that we used. He got us actually, by way connected with the Jewish Federation, and that's where Doc gets his information for the medicine from Dr. Raphael Meshulam, rest in peace as well. The University of Israel. That's where we launched, was on that forefront. When I say the beginning of the industry, we were doing CBD and doing testing or tastings. And then we met Corey, and then we were out in Arkansas. We did some education. We did Eric Norton's Imperious Cannabis Expo, the first 2 of them. Met Steve D'Angelo, Ed Rosenthal then, and then came to Oklahoma and was like, "Yo, it's about to launch." We became the very first business. We opened 8 hours after the vote. And even leading up to that time, we were doing pop-ups for like 3 months, I think, since Jane Fest. We were doing Jane Fest, which was a music festival in downtown Tulsa for 3 days. That was on that was 2018. Literally right now, that was 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago, we held the first, I don't want to say it was a cannabis music festival, but it was Jane Fest, which was a music festival that shut down 3 streets of downtown Tulsa for 3 days. And then right after that, we had the first watch party for cannabis launching in June. And then we were doing hotel pickups with Corey that 3-4 months. I mean, we were everywhere. You talk about Stillwell, you talk about Tahlequah, Muskogee, Enid. We were in Stillwater. We went everywhere and just rented hotels and got education on licensing, understanding processes, SOPs, banking. Like, we did all of that. Then we launched our business. Then we got in with Regent. Shout out Regent Bank with the first state program. We helped them to create that, and that was based with our partnerships and strategic alignment. So when we speak of innovators, again, I can't even hark on it enough. I'm happy that that's our common base is a gentleman that really set it up for us, because without Corey, a lot of the things that we know is normalized right now wouldn't be as normal. He went through a lot of things in other states that helped us to get what we currently have. And so, again, shout out Corey, family, that was my man. So, for sure. Bro, this is so cool.
Yeah,
Damn.
man.
All right, sorry. Let's get up off Corey. Thank you. Let's get back on these, because you started with this, right? And now you've got thousands upon thousands of SKUs, and I mean,
I don't know about that. We have 72 SKUs, I think.
Let me rephrase that. Thousands of things that you've made, only a few of SKUs, right?
Well, we do white label a bunch of stuff for a bunch of different companies.
Okay.
And I think moving forward, that's a huge part of it. Is not just, it's great to have your own brand, and the biggest reason why I think we're not only surviving but we're thriving is because we started with the thought process of creating a brand. Create a brand. I love Cookies clothing.
That's a brand for sure.
That's a brand.
That's a brand.
That's a Jordan brand. It's
a
high price. $100 for a pair of fucking sweatpants.
Yo, and their partnerships, like the starter, they brought starters back. If y'all don't know,
that's what I'm saying.
If you, I'm big on that, and we don't. I mean, I only remember the E-Space. Y'all don't know about that, but those that really know, you know what was in there. I mean, we had the pullovers for sure.
Yeah.
Golly, damn Cookies.
Yeah.
I see you, Burner. Shout out, Burner,
Yes,
man.
no doubt, man.
And the whole team. Go ahead.
But our thought process was create a brand, and then what we did is we created multiple brands. We have our medical line, our much more medicinal line. Everything that we make is medical. Let me say that.
Okay.
But we have the
more catered towards
everything that's more catered towards the patient that wants to microdose, the patient that needs macro doses, different ratios of THC to CBD. That's Delta oil. We have tinctures, our carts that we make. They're distillate carts, but we have a broad spec cart. So our distillate, we don't run it until it's just an isolate. We don't just strip it from everything. Our distillate still comes with a terpene profile, even though it's minor. And
it's still in there.
And then we're using the highest quality. We're using actual cannabis cannabinoids and flavonoids to match the actual flavor of the flower and the profile of the flower. So we have 6-7 different cannabinoids in the cart, and then we have the actual cannabis terpenes and flavonoids. It is not a full spec cart. It's not. But it's as close as any distillate cart's ever going to get.
Gotcha.
And that's the goal. Give people a super high quality, very affordable product. Especially here in Oklahoma, man. If you're not doing that, you're dying. You're dying. And all of our edibles are full spec. They all use nanotech now because that we've just been trying to perfect it. But we're
big on that. Doc will tell you he's like a full spec. That's actually what we have all our CBD at the clinic. It's better to have it all than to not know that you're missing something.
God knows what he's doing. That's minor cannabinoids have such a major profound effect on people that God puts them in tiny little increments in the plant because our body can't handle a 1-to-1 with CBN or THCV. It's just too freaking much, man. it'll send the body into in a place where it doesn't need to be.
Truth.
Homeostasis.
Yes.
We want balance with our bodies. And that's what cannabis can bring in a million different ways. The great thing about edibles and what we're really trying to perfect is not only do you get that quick punch, but you get that huge 11-hydroxy on the back end. So the first half of that infusion is all nanoed, but that second half is just traditional.
Okay.
So by the time that nano is wearing off in that first hour or two, you're already feeling that huge 11-hydroxy punch coming through, because now you have that traditional processing through your liver, just like you want it.
Like you want, yeah.
Yeah, and
slow and
fast acting, long lasting. Sorry.
Tell me about. No, I was agreeing with what you were saying. I like that. Like what? So, question on your gummies, right? On the gummies, does that say pectin? Yeah, that's what I was about to add.
Two
What
different.
if you don't? Yeah,
We
tell
have
me about that.
We have
as
a
a chef.
gelatin based,
Okay.
and our gelatin base is it's just a collagen gelatin based gummy. It's very much like a candy.
Okay.
The best way to describe our texture, the original texture was very much like a Haribo. My favorite gummy.
Love Haribos.
Yeah, my
Gummy bears are
favorite,
good.
but they're very hard.
Yes.
And Oklahomans do not like that.
They want gummies. They want gummy.
They want gummy. They want something soft.
Yeah.
So So imagine if a marshmallow and a Haribo mated and had a beautiful gummy baby. That's what our gelatin.
Baby.
That's
Marshy
what our
bear.
gelatin gummies are.
Okay.
Our pectin are 100% vegan, all natural, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors.
Okay.
The flavors are made with the actual juices of those flavors. Orange with apple and orange juice. The watermelon is made with watermelon juice, grape made with grape juice.
Got you.
They're no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. They smack, and they have the texture of a Sour Patch Kid.
Which is my favorite gummy.
That's my favorite.
Like I like Haribos, but I really like me some Sour Patch Kids, and now they're making all the flavors. It's a ridiculous thing. Like
they separated the flavors.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, what?
and then they add these little new berry sour flavors, and I'm a movie guy, so like I feel like I'll hit a dollar store, Five Below, where you get the big pack. And then I'm taking that into the movies.
Oh, yeah.
I'm crushing.
Oh, yeah.
All time. I'm crushing. Yeah. Yes.
I need a big drink though, because that
Gotta have the big drink.
That sour salt.
Oh,
just
bro.
Like fucking
So much.
dehydrates my mouth. And then I'm going in there with the munchies, and then I
Always.
usually bring something like this.
I'll
God
help you
forbid
through.
somebody goes that I'm a patient.
Hey, can
Are
I have
you?
one
Oh
of
my
those?
God! I dropped something. That never happened. Ever. Oh no.
I'm sitting next to the chef next movie.
No, I think that's awesome. This is so this is in 3 years you've built your brand enough that you're now doing white labeling, which is awesome, because then what happens is that gives other people opportunities to get the same product, right? Or a variation of that product.
They want
Same quality.
Same quality.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Everything that we make started with my dad. Everything. And my dad was my king, man.
Here's your what?
He was my king. He was my fucking hero, bro. And cannabis gave my family 12 years of high quality life that we did not deserve with him. He had cancer. He was battling, besides all of the other ailments, double knee replacement. He had prostate cancer. They went in, tried to cut it out. They didn't go deep enough. It metastasized.
Yeah.
They're like, don't worry, it's slow moving. My dad, he fought through it. Cannabis really helped him with everything. It helped keep it at bay for a long time, because I heavy on the CBD and RSO. And then, throughout the day, different edibles. Sativas are for, in my opinion, the sativas, especially the ones I make, are for midday. That's your 2 hour.
I guess that's the next question I was going to ask is, are your flavors, like, with these,
specific?
are they
Yes.
strand specific, but then, are they strand specific?
Yes. So
And you mix them up, right? So, like, this one has
Sativa
3
indica
flavors.
hybrid.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
the bags will all have sativa indica hybrid. I'm not sure which labeling these have.
Oh, glazed. What is this? Glazed candy almonds. Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. How many is what's
delicious
the Please tell me
25
more,
milligrams
sir.
a piece. The almonds, they're about 5 milligrams per almond, depending on the size. The granola is literally just made as a nice, healthy snack alternative. That the Cocoa Kush is the only one that is not vegan.
Okay.
Because it has chocolate.
Has chocolate, right?
Yeah, we
Okay.
use a very high quality San Francisco chocolate that rhymes with schmeridelli.
Gotcha.
Well, I like that. I like
Really
that a
good
lot.
cho- it's my favorite chocolate,
It's
so.
my that is. I mean, it's
Favorite
damn good
American
chocolate.
chocolate,
That
so
is
fucking
damn
good,
good
yeah.
chocolate right there.
So why wouldn't you coat? And
Okay.
we had a guy that used to work for us, and there used to be chocolate chips, as you can see.
Yeah.
And what wound up happening was he looked at me, and out of nowhere he goes, "Are the chocolate chips infused?" I go, "No." He goes, "Then why the fuck are they in there?" I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Truth.
all right." So white and dark chocolate, hot granola comes out. We coat the
Yep.
granola.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, that shit's like, you can eat it as cereal. I put it in my yogurt as parfaits. It never really makes it a parfait. I'm like, fuck the layer and just put it on top, mix it in. I
Yeah.
gotta eat.
Yeah. Hey, listen. This is enlarged to show texture.
Right.
Yes.
I feel like that's something I want to use as my new slogan right there.
And you see some of the cool shit that he put on there, man.
That's horrible.
I mean,
Like this is a good.
Gluten-free,
This
low
is a good.
sugar.
Oh, and it's got sunflower seeds. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna chop it up with you outside of here about a couple little concept, little ideas. I like some of this stuff I see right here, so I have some ideas for you. But you're the chef. I know you know it. I'm excited to taste this stuff, and I'm excited about what you're doing. Tell me this: now that you've hit these waves in 3 years here in the state of Oklahoma, what can people expect in the next year? And then what's the future for you and for Chef Joey's?
the next year, this year, first of all, is focused on Oklahoma and expansion.
Expansion through Oklahoma or expansion states?
Not just through Oklahoma. We want as a company, we're really striving to get to a point where we have a little bit more of the market share. The biggest way to go about that right now seems to be through white labeling, and it's working, and we're doing phenomenal. We're going to start doing collabs with different hash companies, which I'm
Excited about.
Oh man, I'm so fucking
Because
stoked.
you're a concentrate guy.
Oh,
So
I'm a
like
hash
this
head. And
is,
people-
I want real hash. Like I'm just not. I want real hash, and it's hard to get it. But once you get it, you know.
Yeah.
Once you get it, you know. And
In
so
all forms, too. I
all
like
forms,
hash in
yes.
all forms.
Yes.
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 Huh.
We
I
can
like
get me
bubble
going.
hash. I like rosin
Rosin hash.
I just had some great BHO. My buddy's like, "Yeah, dude, I only do solventless," and I'm like, "You're giving some people that are really, really artists. They're really good artists at their crafts, and they believe in fire in, fire out, and they're putting out some fuego."
Yeah.
And
And-
I understand
yeah.
it's BHO, but dude, I just had some BHO the other day that was fucking fire.
We
And-
had that's actually when we started our first processing company, Rifa, which I don't even think. I think we just got into testing. We really didn't even put it out to market. We had a lot of testing, but it was BHO, and I believe it. Like I mean, done properly, scientists understand how to do what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
It's a science to it. It's a method to doing things, and if you do it properly, you can get the best possible quality out of it. And what we had, like, there was some heat that came out of there. There's some heat that came out, and I haven't had BHO in a while since. Like,
Because
obviously
rosin's so
now.
it's so affordable right now.
Yeah, it's so affordable right now.
Right now, prices are going up insane.
Oh, they're doing
across
so
the
much.
board.
So much.
Almost shutting down and coming down on businesses much harder.
Yeah.
The governor is pushing them there.
It's the bottleneck now.
It's what it is. This is just like every other
Industry.
Every other industry. It's like every other market in this industry. I've seen it happen in Washington, Colorado, D.C., freaking Maryland.
Oh wow, DC. Yeah, I forgot about DC.
Florida. I lived in Florida for 22 years. Listen to how Florida.
Florida.
I know. That's
Florida.
yeah.
By the way, orange does not start with an O. No. If you think it does, Nah, it's orange, all right?
It's orange.
This is an orange. This is fucking orange.
This is it.
Kind of like burnt orange.
Burnt orange, yes, yes, yes.
That's more like UT orange.
This is definitely Texas orange, but don't say that in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know, I hear that. Hey.
This is like a copper orange if you're in Oklahoma, but when you're in Texas, you say it's a Texas orange.
No disrespect to Texas, but I'm from the real UT, University of Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Volunteers.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, if I'm a Boomer Sooner, so none of that applies here. But he's right. He's absolutely right. I mean, Josh Heupel shot out over there at, OU native.
Yeah.
Yep, he's out of
He's
Tennessee,
UT,
killing it. So,
Rocky Top, baby.
Super nice guy. Super nice guy. He's a great guy. Josh Heupel's a great guy.
There's another story right there.
Yeah.
So, real quick, one of my best friends, another gentleman that got us into really helped me. He helped me complete my first real estate deal. One of my first real estate deals was him buying a property to expand and become one of the first grows. And my buddy Jeremy Shadrick, shout out the Shadrick family, big brother of mine, actually played at the University of Tennessee and was the right guard, or excuse me, he was an offensive lineman for Peyton Manning. So, like, he came out of Tulsa, went from Union, went out there, did that, came back, and AKA Big Sexy, the biggest dude I've ever met that was the snazziest dude I've ever seen. I'm talking about this boy was 300 plus, had the cufflinks. I never even knew about putting your initials on your cuff. He had shirts that were, he taught me about custom clothes and stuff. Man, that was just a great brother of mine. Shout out the Shadrick family, but Jeremy Shadrick, he's one of the big innovators, brought some big brands in here to start this game with Oklahoma. So when we talk about Corey brought it into the state. Jeremy brought brands into the state. And so there's some major brands out here. I'm not going to say who they are, but y'all know who you are. The big boys. My boy Jeremy was in Cali, was in all the places visiting. We know who it is. And so shout out to Jeremy, because without him making some of those connections, some of the things that we see out there right now, and I'm talking about the major names that y'all know, they wouldn't be in Oklahoma. Well, they probably would be, but he's the one that got them the initials. So, like, we're talking about some innovators tonight, guys, and I'm happy to know that we're still in it and still pushing the state forward.
Oh, no doubt.
Right, and that's what this is about. And so,
can I give you a little tidbit about Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Little something that people might not know about Oklahoma.
I love this.
Just as far as edibles, but
okay.
Everything else. Oklahoma has more products, more cannabis products than the rest of the fucking world.
Mm-hmm. The world.
If you take the whole world and you take all of their legal cannabis products, they do not touch Oklahoma.
We have so many.
Dude,
Oklahoma is so much shit. I'm like, yo, when they come out with this?
This is the Manhattan of cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. This is not a market for the faint at heart. Mm-hmm. If you think that this is a get-rich-quick thing, you're out of your fucking mind.
Right.
That's just not happening.
No, you got to put that work in.
Oh, you got to grind.
It's hard grind, too.
I was late here, and I was stressing so hard. I was like, am I going to miss it? Jesus, I suck. And it was all because it was either leave production right in the middle of it, or finish and I'm going to be late. And I'm like, fuck, man, I hope they don't hate me, man. I'm just going to be late.
Gotta finish.
I'm going to be late. I got to finish. I got to finish. And thank God when I got here, Ebony was before me, and I was like, oh, thank you. And she was just rocking it.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, what's beautiful about the show is while we're live, we get to change things up, and we always pivot. And if you're a business owner, you don't pivot, you ain't in business. Like, I mean, that's just what it is. You got to be able to go, all right, cool, let's switch up, boom. And we're very blessed, again, it's the camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's the we, right? And our whys are bigger, and that's why this is continuing. You know what I'm saying? I think about it, again, we mentioned Doc earlier. Not only did the man see over 100 patients today, he also is here on the podcast, and he's still right in. And that's from people saying a traditional 9 to 5. Like, he works. He's a doctor for real. But also you get to see the other side of him, which is what we get to do here. You going in the lab, working, and then you come out and we get to see the people behind those brands. So I'm very honored to be behind both of you guys, because, I mean, without either one of you guys here,
I mean, I'd be here.
Dude,
I'd still be on TV and shit, but I just want to be as popular right now. Y'all help that shit. So
Please, bro. You helped get cannabis into this state. Without you, I would not have had this opportunity. So I'm blessed.
Oh, bro.
And thank you. And the karate doc over here, shit.
He kicking. You know what? I think we need to make that one of our little slogans. Like, we kicking prices down, right? You know, he's not only getting you your Rex, he's knocking down flus. You know what I mean? Karate
Just standing there,
shit.
very monotone.
I'm no
left
Daniel
kick to the
son.
throat. Right in the throat.
He's like, get that shit out of there. It's gone.
And by the way, throat is throat.
True. Yeah.
That's like my father. Hit him in the fucking throat.
Like the two, like the two Utes.
The two Utes.
Like the two Utes.
Oh gosh. Oh man, I love it.
First time I was in Tennessee and somebody asked me, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Spell that."
So yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is that all one word?
And they asked me do you say y'all? And I say, yous guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yous alls?
You alls?
Yous alls over there. Speak with 3 fucking fingers.
Always talking with the fingers,
If
right?
you don't know what this is, if an Italian gives you this, that's a bouquet of these. So if they're giving you 2 hands, they're giving you a florist of afangos.
Listen, I'm going to get my Italian on in this motherfucker. I can tell you that right now, guys. Man.
So the very first thing I infused,
yes?
homemade pasta.
Yo, speaking of, okay, so let's go into that real quick. You're doing the edibles.
Yeah.
We made mention of now you specialize in all these different types of products, but you also, are you still chefing on the side? Are you still doing making pasta and making dinners? I mean, like, you've known it for a long time. Do people still get the pleasure of that?
Yes, but unfortunately, we haven't got to do a lot of events. We haven't got to do any events this year yet, but after 420, I think from June to December, one of our focuses is going to be to get in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And to literally just be able to give away delicious food.
I love that.
Maybe it'll be infused.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And then it won't be given away.
No.
Okay.
Right.
No.
See, so,
if you have a license, you can get
yes.
a penny plate.
Yes,
There you go.
yes. Listen,
here's
first off, bring your money. Like,
Yeah.
don't think anything's for free around
No.
here.
Penny
Like,
plate.
Yeah.
Penny plate. We went to an event, and we were with Cannabis Collective, and it was in OKC, it was Farmers Market, and we got told that we should not make infused sauces, and I had already made them.
Okay.
And I was going to give them because it was a patient-only thing, and I was going to give them for a penny because you had to be a patient to get there. That was the deal. So I was fucking stoked about it. Well, I didn't want to do anything illegal. I didn't want to push the boundaries, so we just catered food and gave it away.
Yeah.
And then when that was done, we got canes and gave it away. Because
Shout out Kane's Chicken.
Oh, no
I
doubt.
like chicken,
Well,
just so you know, and I'm not yeah, I
there's
just like
like
chicken,
600-700 people at this event. There's no food truck. There was nothing there, and people were freaking starving.
Yeah.
They had some places that had alcohol, but there wasn't a lot of beverages. We came with waters, Gatorade, and food.
Oh, that's
People-
a party supply right there.
My favorite. How much? $3.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That line,
What?
that
99?
line
Just-
turned.
No.
Yep.
Oh, but it was the greatest thing
It's
because
a good feeling.
great feeling. You're making people happy.
Yeah.
You're at a cannabis event.
Yeah.
Cannabis is the greatest fucking thing to have at events. You can have 10,000, 20,000.
Every party you've ever
100,000
been
people.
to, every party anybody's ever been to, I guarantee you, the cool kids had that green.
Yeah.
So like you just found the section. You're like, oh well, what are those guys doing over there? Or you were one of those like, oh, this is where we got to go. It's only the cool kids at the parties had green, and every party had the cool kids in there. So just so you know, like I'm thinking about it, and now that I go back, so blessed because I don't even know how I was always in that realm. You know, I look back and wonder how I had Granddaddy Purple when it first comes, Acapulco Gold when it comes through.
Energy.
You know, like it's just
Show energy, brother.
That's
That's
it.
what it is, man. You have a welcoming, loving energy. And Doc, come on. You know, you-
I wasn't there. I wasn't.
Doc
I
was
wasn't,
not
the
there.
I
same-
wasn't one of the cool kids.
No,
I
no, no,
promise
you
you
have
that.
seen them.
We're the same, just different. Same
yeah,
different.
Yeah.
We're the same, but different.
Yes, that's my ivory to my ebony right there. You know, I mean, you got to have the two piece to the pod. But every party had the green, and I think that to tag on to what you're saying, these new waves of events and ways to publicize and get your brand out there are fun, right? Like you mentioned, the one in OKC, the market, OKC, Tulsa, same industry, different markets, right?
Totally
Completely different markets,
Totally different markets.
but the same concept. They throw a party, there's brands. You come here, we throw parties, there's brands, right? And then it's just a matter of now all these brands meshing and continuing to expose each other, to work together, to know that it ain't even for us, it's for the patient.
And that's what it
like
is.
At the end of the day, we talking right now, but we're doing this for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy to meet Chef Joey. Like this is like one of those moments you see people on TV and you follow them on social or whatever. Like when people see Doc in real life, they're like, "Oh shit, it's Doc. I just watched you on the video." Like it's right. He's seeing me. Like it's that moment right now with Joey. I mean, like I see Joey everywhere. Like you see his face on all types of stuff. But now I get to be in his presence, and so it's just one of those cool things that this is what this is for. To let you guys know, like, this is real. We're real people. These are real things. These are real stories. This is real stuff happening. Now, go and support and try it yourself. You know what I mean? And then from there, come to an event and meet us. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about what you've got going. I'm very honored to know even more of the backstory, which is already going to put me in more of support because, I mean, you know, we do that. Right now? Whenever? Okay, cool. So that was Sasha right there. He gave me the, I wish I had a button like Dave Chappelle that says, "Hey, yo, bro, wrap it up, B." You know, we come on.
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Let's do it. Before we do it, I want to make sure that I want you, when you wrap that, to say your social media handles, how they can get a hold of you, where they can see some of the product, if it's your website or whatnot, that they can start to follow. So go right ahead.
All right, so social media. At Chef Joey's Edibles on Instagram, Delta Oil Co. No hash, no nothing, because there's somebody who hacked our account, which is kind of effed up. But Delta Oil Co. On Instagram, Facebook, and I believe LinkedIn. You can, if you're
right there. Look at
right there. Look at that. Bada bing, boom,
Bada
bam.
boom. I like
Look
that.
at that. Perfect.
Yo, shout out Sasha on the little input right
that's
there.
Dope, man. Thanks, Sasha.
Hey, guys, we're looking at the screen. So y'all know what we're looking at, but we're looking at the screen, and it's cool to see it. So.
I see the information up there, and I get all excited. I'm like, oh, my God.
That's my shit.
That's my shit. Yeah, so one of the things that we love to do, and this is what I wanted to say, at events, our tinctures, we make 1,000 milligrams, 1,200 milligram tinctures. 1,000 milligram tinctures, people that want to microdose, each drop is 1.7 milligrams. Real simple.
Oh, yeah.
Full spec. We have from 1 to 0, 5 to 1, 10 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, and 0 to 1. So we have 7 different SKUs. The cool thing about that is when we go to events, I'll do black and white truffle oil. I'll do a Calabrian or a habanero chili. I'll do a couple of different glycerin ones that are sweet and delicious, like a blueberry orange or a strawberry limeade.
Damn, that sounds good. Blueberry orange.
So now when somebody wants to infuse, they get to decide how much or how little they want.
Okay.
A full ml, one dropper. A full dropper is 34 milligrams. Every drop for people that, I only want 5 milligrams, you get 2 drops.
Yeah.
And it's going to smack because, again, it has that nano in the front, traditional in the back. And the great thing about our oral solutions, 3 simple ingredients. It's organic extra virgin olive oil, organic virgin coconut oil, and full spectrum cannabis oil. That's fucking it.
Okay.
That's it. Nice and simple.
2 organic oils and coconut.
And those carrier
cannabis.
oils by themselves super healthy.
Yeah.
I can go on, but out of time. Thank you so much for having me, by the way.
Bro, I'm so stoked. I'm so happy that you come on. In another 3 months, another 4 months, we're going to follow back up with you if you like that. I can't wait to get you into some other events. We're going to chop it up off screen and get some of this stuff that you're saying going so we can get some more patients to understand some of the quality of the medicines that they can get their hands on. So, Joey, man, man, again, appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thank
You again, Dr. Sims. Karate Doc, yo, I'm telling you, kicking ass. That's what he's doing.
Karate breakdancing.
Yeah, karate breakdancing.
And you know karate helped us breakdance.
Time ago.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. He got more flexible because of that. Yeah. Fucking winning trophies and shit. I love it.
Winning trophies, doing windmills, kicking.
You know,
the judges are like, "Holy shit, we never seen that before."
Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, I can see it.
I want to say though, don't forget, always respect the edible. You know,
always respect the edible.
For some people,
doesn't
take very much, and it can hit you really hard, and it can take a while. So for some people, just got to be careful. So
what's your counter remedy for that?
So CBD and peppercorns. So, but yeah. You got to be careful. Definitely just be careful with the edibles. You know, start low, go slow with all this stuff, especially the edibles, though, because they can hit you hard. So,
make sure to check out the website.
Know, you know?
We're about to get ready to get this T-shirt made. This is Doc's shirt, so y'all heard it first right here. Respect the edible. That's Doc's main line. We're definitely going to put that in production. But yeah, like you said, for those inexperienced edible eaters, for the inexperienced edible eaters, which that's a majority of people because you're eating a multitude of different edibles, definitely start slow. And then understanding and reading the packaging. What I love about your packaging is it explains everything. All you got to do is take the time to read it and then research what you need and ask the people that are there. But like I said, you're going to see us at some events. Make sure you follow, like, share, go and tag and go and make sure you're seeing what they're doing. And then keep an eye out, guys, because as you know, every Wednesday at 7 p.m., we going live. We showing new things. We're bringing wonderful guests to let you know what you can get your hands on. And so just keep over there or just right. Okay, cool. You know, hey, listen, this is what I love about live shows. One day, y'all going to see all this shit back here. You're going to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no doubt.
But soon, until that time, just know we got this badass setup. This is the beginning. It's only episode 14 of a plethora.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Episode 14, and this is what we've done. And so I am going to say thank you guys for watching. Joey, thank you for being on. Dr. Sims, as always, thank you for being here for your knowledge. Andrew, our new one, coming in with the entry and the outro. Super happy about that. And Dave and Sasha, the production team in the back. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. You folks, we'll see you guys next Wednesday. And check us out. I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
And that was another exciting episode of Medical Cannabis Marketplace Live, hosted by our good friend Perry Jones III. That last segment was awesome. We want to thank Chef Joey from Chef Joey Edibles for being here. Tune in next week, 7 o'clock, same time, same place, for another great episode of Medical Cannabis Marketplace Live, brought to you by THC2 and Studio 30. We'll also thank Ebony Jones and Aaron Smith of the NCIA. And another great show next week. So on behalf of Perry, Doc Rock, and everybody behind the scenes here at Medical Cannabis Marketplace Live, we wish you a great evening and a great week. Peace out.